eyewitnesses that we have spoken to, they have said that it had happened at around 8 a.m. in the morning. Now, we already showed you that how heavy the tree that was uprooted was. In fact, that tree was right here where my camera person Rakesh Singh is currently showing you. And this area, in fact, has been sealed by the police as of now. And, the biker that we are talking about, who has very unfortunately lost his life in all of this, he was coming from that side. It was at around 8 a.m. as per, the eyewitnesses when this tree fell on him. And it is said that he was, commuting with his daughter. Sadly, the man whose age we are being told is above 50 years, he lost his life. His daughter, however, she was in a critical state, so she has been shifted to a nearby hospital. As of now, we can show you that the tree has been removed, but it was quite challenging, as we have been showing you that how, the authorities also that came here, they had to cut the tree into different parts, in fact, to get the tree removed. And it took about, over 2 hours for the authorities to remove this tree from the area. Now, certainly the police is investigating the entire issue. But, we have also spoken to the councillor here, and we have also spoken to the locals here. They say, that they had complained about the tree, but nothing was done even by the MLA or by the councillor. The councillor here says that she has already written to the, to the forest department, to the horticulture department, and, for all those trees, that are in this area who are old enough, so that, they could be assessed as to, whether they are healthy, whether their roots are healthy or not, so that such kind of an unfortunate incident does not take place again. But certainly the back and forth also, Vasudha, has increased between both the parties, and sadly, nobody directly is taking the accountability. Over to you.
Right. Ishika, also help us understand where in Kalkaji did this actually help? We understand that this took place in B block. Kalkaji used to be represented by Atishi, who still is the MLA from there. Help us understand a little bit about the political war that's going on, about the management of Delhi when it comes to rain. We should all call it mismanagement, because this has been the scenario every year. Explain to us what is the political tussle that's going on between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party with regard to the management of Delhi during rainfall.
Well, Vasudha, it is very sad and unfortunate then when a resident here of Delhi has lost his life. The parties, the political parties here, they are, busy pushing the blame on each other. Now, the constituency that we are standing in is Kalkaji, which comes under the Aam Aadmi Party senior leader and also the leader of the opposition and, in fact, former Chief Minister Atishi. Now, what, she has said here that she has blamed the Delhi government, in fact, BJP here, saying that BJP is, in fact, in the MCD, BJP is in the Delhi government, and yet this, this type of an incident could not be prevented. While the BJP has, again responded to this and attacked her and also the former Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal over this, saying that for the last 12 years, nothing was done. Even the pruning of the trees that had grown during the COVID time, that was not done, and which is why this incident has happened today. So the political slugfest between both the parties continues, and it is sadly the residents on the ground who have to suffer.
Right. Thank you so much, Ishika, for joining us. Unfortunately, a biker has been killed and a four-wheeler has been crushed in Delhi's rainfall today. This happened after a tree fell on these people. And of course, there is a political tussle that's going on between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. Meanwhile, moving on to some breaking news now. Samajwadi Party MLA Pooja Pal has been sacked by the party. The sacked SP MLA has spoken to NDTV. Remember, the SP MLA praised Yogi Adityanath for his handling of law and order in the state. She is the wife of deceased lawmaker, somebody who represented the BSP, and she said it was because of Yogi Adityanath that she got justice in the state. The sacked MLA now says that she voiced what she felt was right, and she also said that she did not mention Samajwadi Party and that she didn't take Akhilesh Yadav's name, and she just said that she voiced her problems against Atiq Ahmed, a gangster who was killed, a gangster who was in fact responsible for Pooja's husband's death. Now, Pooja Pal has also thanked the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, yet again, and this is after her speech in the UP Assembly yesterday. She has once again praised Yogi Adityanath. Let's listen into her conversation with my colleague.
सभी लोगों को, माननीय विधायकों को जो भी अच्छा था उसको बोलना चाहिए था, तो जो मुझे भी सही लगा मैंने भी बोला। तो उसके बाद मैंने तो सिर्फ ना मैंने समाजवादी के नाम लिया, ना मैंने राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष अखिलेश यादव जी के नाम लिया। मैंने तो अपने जो मेरे साथ जो घटना किया था अतीक अहमद, मैंने तो उसका नाम लेकर के मैंने अपनी परेशानियों को बताया और क्या कहते हैं, मुख्यमंत्री जी ने मुझे न्याय दिया। मैंने उनको बस धन्यवाद दिया था सदन के माध्यम से, और तो कोई मैंने कोई अपराध किया नहीं था।
आपने बुलडोजर न्याय को सही बताया है?
नहीं, तो मेरे साथ तो किए ना, मेरे समाज के साथ किए, मेरे प्रयागराज की जनता के साथ किए। तो कौन सा मैंने विकास पे बात किया था? मैंने तो ये कहा कि क्या कहते हैं कि उन्होंने माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने जो प्रयागराज के जो भूमाफिया थे अतीक अहमद, उसका इस तरह का मिट्टी में मिला करके खात्मा करने का काम किया। मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देती हूँ, यही मैंने कहा।
और उसमें ये कहा कि आपको बार बार ये कहा गया कि आप ऐसी चीजें मत करिए, अनुशासनहीनता आप पार्टी की कर रही हैं, इस तरीके की चीजों को।
लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद से लगातार आप पार्टी की बैठकों में नहीं पहुंच रही थी, पार्टी की नीतियों से अलग अपनी स्टैंड ले रही थी।
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात तो यहाँ पर ये है कि आप पहले सोचिए कि उत्तर प्रदेश और प्रयागराज पूरा अतीक अहमद से परेशान था। जब तक क्या प्रयागराज पूरा उत्तर प्रदेश का पता नहीं कितने जनता का, नागरिक के लोगों का, भाई के पिता के पतियों की हत्या हो गई, तब क्या कहते हैं इन लोगों की आवाज नहीं खुली। मगर जब क्या भाजपा के द्वारा जब इलाहाबाद में 2 साल पहले अभी हत्या हुई थी, उसमें जब जिसने हत्या की थी उसका इनकाउंटर हुआ, तो सारे समाजवादी के लोगों को क्या कहते हैं नागवार गुजरा, और हर जितने भी लोग थे उस क्या कहते हैं उस जो इनकाउंटर हुआ था उसको फेक इनकाउंटर कह रहे थे। तो पहले तो अपनी नीतियां तय कर ली, बता दें कि ये किसके पक्ष में है। ये जो पीड़ित परिवार है उनके पक्ष में थे। पहले जब पाल खत्म हुए तो यही सदन में पहले उनका रोना रोए, उसके बाद जब क्या कहते हैं जब बीजेपी के जो मुख्यमंत्री जी हैं, जब कानून को हाथ में लेने वाले अतीक की लड़के की जब क्या कहते हैं इनकाउंटर करा दिया, तब उनकी रोना रोने लगे। पहले ये तय कर ले कि पीड़ित परिवार के साथ है कि जो अपराधी के पुत्र थे उनके साथ।
Let's also listen into what Pooja Pal said yesterday with regard to Yogi Adityanath, praising him for giving justice and for listening to her when nobody else did.
मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी को, जिन्होंने मेरे छुपे हुए उन आंसुओं को देखने का काम किया जो वर्षों में किसी ने देखने का काम नहीं किया। मेरा दुख, मेरा तकलीफ माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने देखने का काम किया और सही मायने में मुझे न्याय दिलाने का और देने का काम किया। मुझ जैसे पता नहीं कितने प्रयागराज में पीड़ित परिवार को माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने ऐसे अपराधियों को दंड दे करके उनको न्याय दिलाने का काम किया है। और कल शायद मेरी प्रयागराज की जनता मुझे सुनेगी तो वो लोग भी माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद देने का काम करेंगे पुनः दोबारा।
समाजवादी पार्टी ने अपना असली पीडीए विरोधी, दलित विरोधी चेहरा बता दिया। पूजा पाल, जिन्होंने व्यक्तिगत दंश झेला है अतीक और अंसारी जैसे लोगों का, जिनकी वजह से उनके हस्बैंड की जान गई थी, उन्होंने तारीफ कर दी कानून व्यवस्था की, उत्तर प्रदेश की, विकसित उत्तर प्रदेश की, योगी मॉडल की, कि किस प्रकार से आतंकियों पर और गुंडों पर प्रहार किया गया है। तो आतंकियों के साथ खड़ी रहने वाली, गुंडों माफियाओं के साथ खड़ी रहने वाली, अपराधियों के साथ खड़ी रहने वाली सपा ने पूजा पाल अपने ही विधायक को सैक कर दिया, निकाल दिया। सोचिए, ये दलित विरोधी मानसिकता है।
Well, it's time for a short break. On the other hand, we'll tell you all about Darshan's whereabouts. sources have told NDTV that he may be returning to Bengaluru shortly. We'll get you all details on the other side of this break.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
मेरे हम सफर एक जरा इंतजार सुन सदाएं दे रही है मंजिल प्यार की। जय जवान जय हिंद।
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है।
मैडम एक बार को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
You know, first, when Sayyara released and we as audience realized, oh my God, what is happening? You know, when did you realize it? Like, it's like, I didn't expect this, what is happening? Like that wave that hits you.
You know, the first thing that really hit me, I'm telling you, was a month back actually, to be honest, is when Adi sir saw the film. And he saw a very loose cut and he decided the release date. But he was always, like me and Akshay were so into making the film, I think, along with Sumanna and all. Sometimes when you're so into it and you know, you don't realize, you don't see it from, and then he saw it from a third person perspective. I mean, he was always super confident about the film. And he had actually had this talk with me about how I've done. And yeah, we all grew up. I was in the 8th grade when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and said I want to make a love story like this. For a person like him to say that, you know, you've made a great film. All he had asked for me was to make your best film for me. And I did. And I'm just glad that, so that was the first thing, you know, and that validation was great. I wasn't shouting over the roof for it. It gives you a lot of confidence at that moment, you know, for the person who's actually put his money where it is, and he wasn't talking about anything else but on a very unassembled film.
Massive cloudburst in J&K's Kishtwar. At least 10 have been feared dead. Rescue teams rushed to site. Tree falls on citizens during rain in Delhi. 1 dead, 2 injured in Delhi's rain tragedy. Political blame game over rain mess. A big Supreme Court setback for actor Darshan. Bail has been cancelled. No one is above law. That's what Supreme Court has said. Supreme Court, meanwhile, has reserved its order on pleas challenging its August 11th directive to round up all stray dogs from capital streets and confine them in shelters. Supreme Court has declined to grant a stay on directions issued to civic bodies.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
There's a possibility that actor Darshan could be surrendering to police very shortly, is what we understand. His bail has been cancelled. Supreme Court, in its ruling today, has set aside an order by Karnataka High Court that granted him bail. Also, his partner, Pavitra Gowda. Pavitra Gowda is already in police custody. Now, sources have told NDTV that Darshan's location is still unclear. He's expected to surrender to police shortly, and he is expected to meet his wife and son before he surrenders to police. What we understand is that Darshan is likely to go to his residence first, and this is after Supreme Court ruling today cancelling the actor's bail, and this is a major setback for actor Darshan and also his partner Pavitra Gowda. Remember, both of them have been accused of killing Renuka Swamy, a 33-year-old fan who was not just kidnapped and assaulted but also killed allegedly by the actor and also his other fans. A bench of Justices J.B. Pardiwala and R. Mahadevan this morning set aside an earlier ruling in this case by Karnataka High Court, and they ordered that both of them should be taken into custody. My colleague Deepak Popanna joins us with more details on this. Deepak, what do we know about Darshan's whereabouts and when is he expected to surrender to police?
Well, it has been a few weeks of a lot of intense wait and speculation about what will happen. The Supreme Court, when it, heard the matter as far as cancellation of his bail and the appeal that was made by the state government, came down quite heavily in terms of its observations. Today, through the orders, of course, has cancelled his bail. Not just that, has come down again very heavily on how the bail was granted and said that no VIP treatment should be given and he should be immediately arrested. The latest information that I have as far as Darshan is concerned from the top sources in the police is that when the verdict came out from the Supreme Court, he was at least 4 hours away from Bengaluru, about 3.5 to 4 hours. He's on his way back. As of now, 4 people have been taken into custody already out of the 7. Totally, along with Darshan, 6 others, their bails also were cancelled. I'm right now standing at the City Civil Court complex. This is where he's expected to be brought if he makes it on time. That is, of course, the court will be operational here till about 5:30. If not, there is, of course, the option of producing him before the magistrate as well. Now, as far as Pavitra Gowda, who's the accused number 1, the entire case revolves around her. It is suspected that the entire attack took place because of some messages that were sent to her which Darshan didn't like. Eventually, of course, this individual, Renuka Swamy, being picked up and then kidnapped, beaten, so brutally assaulted and murdered for this. Now, she's been named as accused number 1 because she's said to be the main conspirer of this entire crime. She, at her residence, was picked up. He's being taken to the Annapurneshwari Nagar police station along with 3 other accused who have also been arrested right now. So totally 4 out of 7 arrested. Darshan and 2 others remaining. Once they're all arrested, they'll be brought and produced before the court. The court, of course, has the discretion to either send them to Parapna Agrara or to Ballari. We should note that while he was in Parapna Agrara Central Prison in Bengaluru, there was allegations that he got VIP treatment. Those images of him sitting there casually like he was in a park, those images, came out, and then eventually he had to be transferred out of Bengaluru to another prison. Whether today itself they'll do that or whether they'll leave it to the administration of the prisons to decide whether they need to move him once again, that is another story. But he's supposed to be produced before the court today. It's going to happen. Whether it's going to happen here or later at the residence of a judge itself, that is waiting more details about.
Right. Thank you, Deepak, for joining us with the details. We'll keep coming back to you just to make our viewers understand what this case is all about. This was also a major setback for popular Kannada actor Darshan Takudeepa. The Supreme Court today has cancelled his bail in the murder case of Renuka Swamy, a 33-year-old fan who was kidnapped, assaulted and allegedly by this actor and his other fans. The Supreme Court, in fact, set aside a Karnataka High Court's bail decision, calling it perverse exercise of judicial power. Earlier too, the court had said that this was a mistake in deciding the bail by High Court, and it had said that the bail was completely unacceptable. Now, a warning against VIP treatment being given to Darshan in custody was also something that surfaced. The actor had earlier been filmed receiving special treatment in Bengaluru jail. A photo of him showing him relaxing with a cup of coffee also earned a lot of traction. The actor faced a lot of public fury after he was seen at a movie screening hours after he skipped court appearances. Now, what we understand is that he is expected to surrender to police anytime soon. He's going to go to his house, his residence, family members before he joins police for interrogation. Let's also listen into some reactions. My colleagues to A.S. Ponnanna, who is the legal advisor to Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, and also actor Ramya, and this is what they said.
Bail application ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರದ್ದಾಗಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಂತ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆತಂಕ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿ ನಮಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ತನಿಖೆ ಅಂತಂದು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಂತೆ ನ್ಯಾಯವಾದಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ನ್ಯಾಯಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಬೇಲ್ ರದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡೆಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪರಾಧಿ ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ
Karnataka MLA and legal advisor to the Chief Minister A.S. Ponnanna joining us. Sir, actor Darshan's bail has been cancelled in the Supreme Court. Very serious, strong observations. How do you really look at it? Because the family as well is glad that the state government actually knocked the doors of the Supreme Court in this matter.
No, I would start off by saying that the stand of the government, the stand of the prosecution, that Darshan should not be out on bail. It hampers the free and fair trial. It hampers the due process of law. He is a very powerful and popular actor. He will flex his influence, flex his muscles to influence the prosecution's witnesses. That stands vindicated today.
Well, the SIR matter is being heard by Supreme Court. What we understand is that the EC has been directed by the Supreme Court to put out the list of all those people who have been deleted from the Special Intensive Revision of Electoral Rolls. Supreme Court has passed an interim order on this issue. It has asked ECI to publish details of 65 lakh deleted voters from the list of Bihar's voters. Remember, Bihar elections are coming up. This is a politically potent issue, something that has the opposition up in arms against the ECI. The SIR hearing is going on in court. The Supreme Court has in fact passed an interim order on this matter, and it has asked ECI to publish the details of all the 65 lakh voters whose names have been deleted in the SIR, and it has also asked the ECI to publish reasons for their deletions. Just to remind our viewers that Supreme Court is hearing this very important case on Special Intensive Revision of Electoral Rolls in poll-bound Bihar. And now ECI has been asked by Supreme Court to publish enumerated list at district level by 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Supreme Court has also asked Election Commission of India to publish the list of 65 lakh voters who are part of January 2025 electoral roll but not really found in the draft roll of SIR. It shall be displayed on district electoral officer booth-wise, but it can be accessed through EPIC number is what we understand. Prabhakar joins us with more details on this. Prabhakar, a huge development here in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court asking ECI to publish not just the names of 65 lakh voters whose names have been deleted in the SIR, in the draft electoral list, but ECI has also been asked to publish reasons for the deletion. How do you see this having a fallout?
Yeah, very, very significant, very, very important interim order, I would say, because this is exactly what the opposition has been wanting for and they had been campaigning for. We have seen the opposition leaders like Tejasvi and Rahul out on the streets actually demanding this very step by the Election Commission, which Election Commission had refused to do it so far. So now, after the interim order of Supreme Court, obviously they would be forced to do it. They have to not only publish the list of those people who have been deleted out of the voter list along with their name, but also a very important order here that the name should be searchable. Though the data would be booth-wise, but the name should be searchable, and if somebody enters the EPIC number, they should be able to find their names there. Also, the reason why their names have been deleted. So this is exactly what the opposition was campaigning for, and this order would come as a big relief for those who were actually pursuing the case in the Supreme Court.
Right, but Prabhakar, the process has not been stayed, and we have seen even yesterday the Supreme Court validating the fact that ECI is well within its right to conduct an exercise like this. But today the ECI has made it clear that the enumerated list needs to be published at district level by 5 p.m. on Tuesday. There's a deadline for that, and of course details of the 65 lakh voters who have been excluded, but they were part of the earlier list, those also need to be published along with reasons. How do you see the opposition reacting to this, and how is the ECI going to go about this?
See, if you see the objections being raised by opposition, they were never actually kind of questioning the SIR. They were questioning the very process of it. They were questioning the lack of transparency into it, and the lack of, the Election Commission being vindictive is what they were alleging against the Election Commission, and also the timing, the manner in which this entire exercise was done. SIR is a process which needs to be done, and everybody agrees on this. Everybody is on the same page. They were saying that why it is being done in such a haste, A, and B, if this has to be done, there should be a proper transparency into it so that everyone whose name is either included or deleted should be updated and should be aware as to what was the reason for that particular thing to happen. So now the Election Commission has not only refused to stay the SIR and said that it's a very valid exercise which needs to be done, but it has also stressed on the transparency, which is exactly what the opposition was wanting for. So I think it only validates the kind of allegation which the opposition was making against the Election Commission, and they would have all the reasons to celebrate now.
Right. Thank you, Prabhakar, for joining us with those details. Extremely important interim order passed by the Supreme Court on the SIR matter, directing Election Commission of India to publish the list of 65 lakh voters who were part of January 2025 electoral roll, but did not find their names in the draft roll of SIR. Well, in the midst of Kishtwar cloudburst tragedy in which at least 10 people appear dead, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has now spoken to J&K Chief Minister Omar Abdullah. He has also spoken to LG of J&K Manoj Sinha. Home Minister Amit Shah has posted on X saying that NDRF teams have been rushed to the spot. Home Minister Amit Shah is also taking stock of the situation. Omar Abdullah has meanwhile said that he has briefed the Home Minister about the ground situation in Kishtwar, where a tragic cloudburst has taken the lives of at least 10 people. Rescue operations are going on. Well, the success of Operation Sindur is going to be the highlight of Independence Day celebrations that's going to take place tomorrow. There's a big Operation Sindur honor for forces. In fact, there's a top honor for 7 military officers. IAF's top wartime service medals are also part of this. 4 top Indian Air Force officers will be decorated. This is an NDTV exclusive on Operation Sindur honors. My colleague Shivarur has all the details.
There are some names doing the rounds. We, of course, won't be sharing them right now because those names will be announced by the government. We do have permission to talk about the decorations themselves, but the names will first, of course, be shared officially by the Ministry of Defence, the Prime Minister's office, a little later from today, along with a much larger list. Remember, these are the Distinguished Service Wartime Decorations, or the Sarvottam Yudh Seva Medal.
but there will be, and there are expected to be, a large number of operational decorations as well. We are expecting to see, wartime gallantry decorations like the Veer Chakra, etc., that are likely to be handed out to several persons, including pilots, to soldiers who were part of the front lines of Operation Sindur, those who conducted the strikes, those who defended from the ground, those who conducted the air defense operations as well. Expect to see a pretty comprehensive list later today. So what we are talking about now is only the highest wartime distinguished service decorations, but there will be operational decorations as well that will come later. We'll have a full list later here on NDTV.
Well, Operation Sindur to be the highlight of India's Independence Day celebrations tomorrow. This is time for a short break. On the other side, we will get you Rajinikanth's Coolie release, the big blockbuster from superstar celebrating 50 years of Rajinikanth.
You know, first, when Sayyara released and we as audience realized, oh my God, what is happening? You know, when did you realize it? Like, it's like, whoa, I didn't expect this, what is happening? Like that wave that hits you.
You know, the first thing that really hit me, I'm telling you, was a month back actually, to be honest, is when Adi sir saw the film. And he saw a very loose cut and he decided the release date. But he was always, like me and Akshay were so into making the film, I think, along with Sumanna and all. Sometimes when you're so into it and you don't realize, you don't see it from, and then he saw it from a third person perspective. I mean, he was always super confident about the film. And he had actually had this talk with me about how I've done. And yeah, we all grew up. I was in the 8th grade when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and said I want to make a love story like this. For a person like him to say that, you've made a great film. All he had asked for me was to make your best film for me. And I did, and I'm just glad that, so that was the first thing, and that validation was great. I wasn't shouting over the roof for it. It gives you a lot of confidence at that moment,
Absolutely.
for the person who's actually put his money where it is, and he wasn't talking about anything else, but on a very unassembled film at that time, could feel the emotion and be listening. But it was the first time we felt that we made something special. But yes, once the numbers came in, I think then it was Akshay.
The advance.
Yeah, and the advances came in, and then people were sending me messages, and all they said, no, don't listen to anyone. So I at one point just put my phone off and said, this is getting too out of hand. And then in the night we got the number.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24/7.
Massive cloudburst in Jammu Kashmir's Kishtwar. At least 10 people have been feared dead. In Delhi's monsoon tragedy, 3 falls on citizens, 1 dead, 2 people injured. Big Supreme Court setback for actor Darshan, bail cancelled. No one is above law, that's what the Supreme Court has said. The top court also reserved its order on pleas challenging its August 11th directive to round up all stray dogs from the streets of New Delhi. It has also declined to grant a stay on directions issued to civic bodies.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Well, NDTV has accessed the full Darshan Supreme Court order. Supreme Court today has cancelled the bail that was given to actor Darshan and also his partner Pavitra Gowda, who both of them have been accused of murdering 33-year-old Renuka Swamy, a fan who was assaulted, kidnapped and allegedly killed by Darshan. Supreme Court has said that popularity cannot be a shield for immunity. Supreme Court has also said that social status can't be basis for any bail. My colleague Deepak Bopanna joins us with more details on this. Deepak, this is probably the second or third time that the Supreme Court has actually set aside and commented against the earlier order by Karnataka High Court that granted Darshan bail, saying that this is an act of perversity. Tell us a little bit about what the Supreme Court said today in its judgment cancelling the bail for Darshan.
Yes, here at NDTV we've accessed that full judgment copy that runs into several pages, but some of the important aspects that are mentioned here, point out at glaring irregularities. And more importantly, the Supreme Court is saying that he enjoys a celebrity status. Not just that, he's got a mass following, he's got a political clout and even financial muscle. His conduct inside the jail, including recorded instances of VIP treatment, violations of jail rules, and even FIRs registered for misuse of facilities inside the prison, reflects his capacity to defy the system even while he's in custody. Now, if a person can subvert the prison system, the risk of interference with evidence, threatening influences and even tampering with the course of justice is real and imminent. This is one of the things that the Supreme Court has said. So basically, we should note that this individual, after being accused of murder, goes into prison. And in prison, the Supreme Court has found, of course, through the information that was available, that he had actually got VIP treatment while at the Parapanagrara prison. Now, this is a person, goes to jail, gets VIP treatment inside jail, manipulates the entire system to work according to his whims. The Supreme Court is saying, how could you grant bail to this person who could subvert the system while sitting inside prison, and how could you presume that he is outside and will not be able to really affect the case, influence the witnesses or the investigation. So that's one of the main reasons that they have cited in cancellation of this bail. And also they've said that moreover, accused number 2, that's Darshan, once again, his immediate return to social events, sharing a stage with prosecution witnesses, continued influence over police witness despite being on bail, establish his liberty and a threat to the integrity of the proceedings. So this is another very, very important aspect. They've, of course, here also gone on to hit out once again at the High Court and its decision. They've said that the influence, resources and social status cannot be a basis for granting bail where there is a genuine risk of a prejudice to the investigation or trial is another observation. The High Court has committed a manifest perversity in the exercise of its discretion, thereby warranting cancellation of bail. So this is the detailed order. We'll of course be putting out all of these aspects on our website and on social media platforms as well for people to read and understand, because a lot of attention is being drawn towards this case because it's a high profile person who's going back to bars. The Supreme Court pointing fingers that you may be high and mighty, but you cannot evade the law and subvert the entire system.
An important message there by Supreme Court to actor Darshan, cancelling his bail and saying that popularity is not immunity, is not a shield against justice or the proceedings of law and order. Darshan is expected to surrender to police anytime today. We'll keep a close track of that. But moving on to other stories now, this Independence Day week, Rajinikanth, superstar Rajinikanth is back 50 years after his first film was released.
ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि मैंने तुम्हें पहले कहीं देखा है?
सुपर निकालो कीले
Well, Rajinikanth's 171st blockbuster movie Coolie has been released today. It has hit theatres and superstar fever is already off the charts. The release of Coolie coincides with Rajinikanth's golden jubilee in cinema, a career which began in 1975 and continues to rule the hearts of viewers even in 2025. 50 glorious years of Rajinikanth. From a rugged villain to an actor whose expressive eyes cast a spell on the audience, Rajinikanth has risen to becoming India's biggest superstars with fans spanning states, languages, even countries. 5,000 theatres worldwide, 100 crores already in advance booking for this movie, Coolie. The film is slated to break records that even superstar has made for himself. At 74, Rajinikanth is giving a tough competition to Hrithik Roshan, whose movie War 2 has also been released today. Also, Kiara Advani was part of this. War 2 was also released today. Rajinikanth's movie Coolie has set theatres ablaze with houseful shows on Independence Day weekend. With a 20 crore box office collection so far, early estimates hint at a record-breaking ₹60 crore opening day. My colleague Sam Daniel has this report.
Rajini's film, so it's always special, no?
You are a Kamal fan. How special was directing Rajinikanth?
Yeah, I can say that in another interview. There is a lot of rush here.
Has the film come out well the way you liked?
Yes. The response is so good. Thank you.
Thank you. How special was this film for you? Thank you. What's the larger theme you chose for Coolie?
Sir, it's a very special day, sir. All over the world, it's a record. Very proud to be part of the 50th year of Rajini's.
Any particular theme you chose for this?
Sir, just mass, sir. That's Talaivar, this Talaivar.
What next?
Jailer 2, sir.
Lastly, young talents are doing extremely well in Tamil cinema now, be it you or Lokesh. What's the larger message?
So, this is a proud moment, sir. Very proud moment. The 50th year of Talaivar, for us to deliver this, I'm very happy, sir.
Thank you so much, Anil, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Always. That was Mr. Anirudh talking to us in Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel for NDTV.
Well, Supreme Court has given out an interim order on the SIR issue that was heard in the court today. We'll get you all those details and more on the other side of this break.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Mohit, you are known for your music. All your films, musics stay with us till today. I'm a millennial and those music are kind of music. So whenever we say Mohit Suri film aa raha hai, we know the music will be good, right? It's a given. So you really work hard. But is this always like how you create your music? You need everything in place, the mood, the lighting, even when the person is in the studio and just singing. And also, how did you select your musicians that this person's voice is perfect for this song?
That's what I think, the amount you give to a song, that's how long it will last, I think. Everyone does the programming, everyone writes the words, everyone makes the thing. But the thing is how much you give, how much of heart you give to the lyrics or to the music or to the melody or to the singing. That's how long the song will last, is what I genuinely feel. If you don't give that love, you're not going to get it back. It's just a simple debit and credit procedure, I think, with the audience. I genuinely feel I don't have any special skill. I don't know any scale or anything else. It's just that I enjoy that process a lot. Give me an evening to just go for a film party or something, I'll skip it. But you give me like a struggling musician to go who has a great tune, some new guys, chill all night with them. I can do that. I can just sit there, make music and stuff like that. We just did that recently. Fahim came down. He just surprised us, and we met in my Bandra office. And Han was there, Aneet was there, and he made me hear his other songs and stuff like that. But it was it's so much fun Because I just think making music, I mean, film, you still get to see something. I think music is so amazing. I mean, you just
don't need to see anything.
It's in the air, and suddenly it just comes together, and it's just, you can just feel it. And something you hear makes you feel something. It's just magical.
जय जवान जो मैंने शुरू किया था ये एक्चुअली मैं दोबारा आया हूँ आप लोग से मिलने के लिए मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आप देख रहे हैं YouTube पे मेरी फिल्म वाह क्या बात है क्या बात है देखिए जय जवान मेरे साथ 15 अगस्त को सिर्फ NDTV पर जय जवान जय हिंद जय हिंद
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
Massive cloudburst in Jammu Kashmir's Kishtwar. At least 10 people feared dead. Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken to the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, also the LG of J&K. Prime Minister extends condolences to bereaved families. In a tragic rain-related tragedy, a tree fell on citizens during rainfall in Delhi. 1 dead, 2 people have been injured. Supreme Court passes interim order on SIRs. Supreme Court has asked ECI to accept Aadhaar as ID proof. Supreme Court has also asked ECI to display reasons for non-inclusion of all voters whose names have been deleted. SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav expels MLA Pooja Pal from the party. Pooja Pal had praised Yogi Adityanath's action against gangster Atiq Ahmed. Now she's been sacked and she's spoken to NDTV. It's a big Supreme Court setback for actor Darshan. His bail has been cancelled. Nobody is above law. That's what the top court has said today. Sources have told NDTV that gallantry awards will be given to Sindur, Operation Sindur heroes. Big Independence Day focus is on the success of Operation Sindur. Well, Supreme Court has passed an important interim order on the special intensive revision of electoral rolls that's going on in Bihar. SE has not stayed the process, but it has asked ECI to accept Aadhaar as an ID proof. It has also, more importantly, asked ECI to display reasons for non-inclusion of voters. Supreme Court has asked ECI to publish details of deleted voters by Tuesday, 5 p.m. An important order, interim order by Supreme Court today, asking ECI to display reasons and names of all voters who have been deleted from the draft electoral rolls of 2024, 2025. In fact, their names were present in the electoral rolls of 2024, and the ones who did not find their names in the 2025 electoral rolls, their names have to be displayed, have to be published by ECI. That's what the Supreme Court has asked ECI to do. In fact, all of these things have to be done by ECI by Tuesday, 5 p.m. is what we understand. That's the deadline the Supreme Court has set for ECI. My colleague Nupur joins us with more details on this. Nupur, one of the things that the judges said today is that there's going to be a civil consequence to this. In some ways, they are making it clear that if somebody is losing the right to vote, he or she needs to know why that has been done. The focus has been largely on deletion. Explain to us what are the big takeaways from this interim order today?
Vasudha, this interim order is in fact a big intervention from the Supreme Court. This interim order was exactly what the petitioners were demanding from the Supreme Court last week when they filed urgent interim applications in the Supreme Court. They had asked the Supreme Court to direct Election Commission of India to make the deleted voter list public, along with the reasons that why are they being deleted, whether it is because of death, whether it is because of migration, or whether it is because of duplicacy. Now, the Election Commission of India will have to make this data public along with the reasons, and it has also directed that the Election Commission of India should make the data epic number searchable. That is, the data should be searchable by epic number. And not only this, the Supreme Court has went one step further and told the ECI that, okay, prima facie, the Supreme Court thinks that Election Commission has the right to conduct the SIR. This is a prima facie view for now, that it can conduct the special intensive revision. But the Supreme Court also noted that this is clearly a departure from past exercises. And if the Election Commission is doing it in special circumstances, then it has to follow SOP. Now, what is that SOP? That it has to be given wide publicity. So not one individual is left out unjustifiably from the voter list. And that's why the Supreme Court has directed Election Commission of India to make it publicly wide, give it wide publicity via newspapers, via broadcast, television, and whatever means possible, that how they have made this data public and how the deleted voters can go to the website, check how their data is deleted, and how they can go for redressal. Now, another major win for the petitioners in this interim order is inclusion of Aadhaar. The Supreme Court has said that now Aadhaar is a statutory right. Aadhaar as a proof of identity, address is a statutory right. It is, of course, it is not a proof of citizenship, but Election Commission of India is here verifying identity of voters. So if any of these 65 lakh deleted voters have been excluded from the draft voter list unjustifiably, they must go to the officers, concerned officers, and show their Aadhaar card, and they will be then included in the next voter list. That is the next that is going to be published. So this is in fact a very big win for the petitioners who were seeking this interim order from the Supreme Court.
Absolutely. Nupur, do stay with us, because I also want to talk about the Supreme Court asking for the list of deleted voters to be displayed on district electoral offices booth-wise, and the fact that it needs to be accessed through epic numbers. They want it to be accessible to everybody. But before I come to you, Prabhakar is also joining us. Prabhakar, explain to us the political fallout of something like this, because this is all happening in Bihar, where elections are going to come up in the next 2 months. There is little time even to protest or even to sort of make sure that the process is done properly. How do you expect political parties to react to this?
See, if you talk about the political parties, especially the opposition, who are also the petitioners in this petition in the Supreme Court, they have all the reasons to celebrate, because this is exactly what they have been demanding for. The RJD, the Congress out here, they said that they have nothing against SIR if at all the process is followed and the transparency by Election Commission is maintained. So they were demanding that there should be, the Supreme Court, the Election Commission should give out reasons as to why the names of any particular person is deleted or omitted out of the voter list. The booth-wise display of voter list is what they have been asking for. So these all demands of theirs. And also the data should be searchable. Remember, we had run a story on NDTV itself that few days back, around a week back, the data was reloaded on the Election Commission site, and those were the picture. There was the scanned copy of the electoral roll, which means that the data were not searchable. So you couldn't search your name, you couldn't search the epic number, nothing. So they were demanding that the data, because it's a huge data, so they should be searchable. The Supreme Court have kind of validated all their plea, before the court, and they would have all the reasons to celebrate. As far as this entire SIR exercise is concerned, politically speaking, it has become a big poll issue out here, and when the state goes into poll, they would be talking about it more and more. And from 17th onwards, Rahul Gandhi is in Bihar. He is touring the length and breadth of Bihar along with ASV Yadav and making a political show about this entire SIR exercise.
Right. Nupur, back to you. I remember Justice Jaimala Bakshi also talking about this being a battle between constitutional right and constitutional entitlement. Help us understand, when the Supreme Court asks for compliance records from the BLOs and the district level officers, what would that mean for voters? And if anybody finds his or her name deleted from the electoral roll, does he or she have enough time to approach the ECI, because the final list is expected on the 30th of September?
Well, yes, Vasudha, this is exactly the apprehensions that were raised by the petitioners in the top court. And that's why the Supreme Court has kept this matter for monitoring. Next Friday, when the Election Commission comes back with a status report from its officers across the state of Bihar about the compliance that has been done of the directions issued by the Supreme Court today, it will have to answer the Supreme Court that how much they have complied, how much people have been out of the deleted voters, 65 lakh deleted voters, how much have been included, were there any unfair exclusion? So that's why the Supreme Court has kept the matter for itself to monitor the entire exercise. Because remember, in the last hearing, the Supreme Court had very clearly said that even if in late September it is convinced that the exercise has unjustly led to mass exclusion of voters, then it will not hesitate in setting aside the exercise. So that is why the Supreme Court has kept the matter pending with it. Now, when it comes to why the Supreme Court is stressing on making the data public and making it accessible to population across the panchayat level villages, with booth level officers, with block level officers, this is the exact reason why, as Justice Suryakant today said, that it is not concerned about what the political parties think or what anyone else thinks, but anyone, he named one excluded voter and said that if Poonam Devi is excluded, she should know, she should be able to search her name and look up the reason why she has been excluded, and should be given a fair chance to reapply and contest and her claim.
Absolutely. Nupur and Prabhakar, do stay with us. Maria joins us now. Maria Shakil, help us understand, when the court says that there is a civil consequence to this exercise, what would this interim order mean for the voters of Bihar?
Yes, for the voters of Bihar, this will come as a huge relief. There are a huge percentage who did not really have one of those 11 documents which were listed. And now that the Election Commission has been told by the Supreme Court of India that they have to give reasons for deletion, that they have to, in fact, put out that entire list booth by booth, it certainly will be seen as a victory for the petitioners. Professor Manoj Jha is one of the petitioners of the Supreme Court. Professor Jha, how are you looking at this interim order, sir?
I'll tell you, I think I have said it before as well, that when you pass through a dark tunnel, there are times in history when you pass through a dark tunnel, the source of light is very important. And Honorable Supreme Court has proved to be that source of light, the lighthouse, time and again. I mean, what was at stake? Not the fate of any political party. It was, what was at stake was the process was disenfranchising people. And they didn't know in which category their name falls. I mean, there was absolute denial, brazen denial from the Election Commission of India. And twice before, Honorable Supreme Court had requested Election Commission to take into consideration Aadhaar, which has approximately 86 to 87% penetration and saturation level in Bihar. Other documents have 20, 22, 23%. I think today it has been specifically mentioned. Secondly, from the state electoral officer to district and to panchayat, they have to put out a list that under this category, so much of deletion, these names have been deleted. Under this category, these names don't figure out. Under this category, these names don't appear. I think that kind of clarity we needed, and this is what I think leader of opposition in Bihar, Tejaswi ji, had been emphasizing in Parliament when we protested, and many people from the BJP side ridiculed us. even for our insistence on Aadhaar. I think today everything has been set aside and hope has been given to the voters in India that your voting rights cannot be taken away by anyone, come what may.
Okay, Professor Jha, one aspect which I want clarity from you, since you are one of the petitioners in this case, when we say that Aadhaar and EPIC will be accepted, does it mean that this will be besides those 11 documents that an electorate is expected to submit?
What I gathered through listening to the proceedings, that this shall be part of the basket of documents which was asked for. Once it is part of the basket of documents, it solves the problem to a great extent. Second, there was fuzziness, actually fog all around, that it was not readable. Now the court says it should be readable, searchable document. It should be physically displayed, even at panchayat level. So large number of people who are not very digital friendly or with digital technology, they would be able to assess if their names figure out or not, and if not, on what ground. So they'll be able to contest.
Okay, and as far as the timing is concerned, sir, and the fact is that this entire exercise has not been stayed. So do you see this as a setback for you?
I'll tell you, Maria, none of the petitioner, I would say, on the very first day of hearing itself, it was not part of our prayer. It was not. We wanted a transparent process. We wanted a voter-friendly process. We wanted engagement with all stakeholders. I think that has happened, and the Honorable Court will discuss this matter further on 22nd, and certainly they'll look at everything from today, that is 14th, to 21st of, August.
All right, Professor Manoj Jha, thank you for joining us here on NDTV. So, Vasudha, look, as Professor Manoj Jha, who was one of the petitioners in the case, was highlighting that this was not a part of their prayer. The fact is that the Supreme Court cannot really stay an exercise which is ongoing in Bihar. So, the Election Commission does continue have the right, because it is an institution which is a statutory body. It has to continue. It's a constitutional authority. It can continue with the entire exercise, but what the petitioners were demanding certainly was a great degree of transparency, and the apex court has guaranteed that transparency. And because elections are around the corner, there were concerns that what if the people do not have the required documents. Now that Aadhaar, which has almost like a saturation of 95-96% in Bihar, just about every voter, if he or she has been deleted from that list and is a genuine voter, will find his or her name back in the list because they have the right document.
Absolutely. Maria, just a question which is of course an offshoot of all that we are discussing. When the ECI has been asked to publish information booth-wise, in fact there's a deadline to it, Tuesday 5 p.m. And ECI has also been asked to display reasons for non-inclusion, give publicity in vernacular papers in Bihar, broadcast reasons. Clearly, the Supreme Court is very insistent that this process needs to generate the kind of awareness that people need to have. It's a constitutional right to vote. Explain to us what could be the larger message here.
Yes, so the larger message certainly is that it is about universal adult franchise, about that one vote. Each and every citizen of India who is above the age of 18 has the right to cast his or her vote to a party of his or her choice. So that right has been reinforced, and even if that right is being reinforced, the Supreme Court here is emphasizing on the fact that there has to be a great degree of transparency. Because if you remember, only yesterday when in the course of the hearing, petitioners did actually provide in person a lot of almost like 6 of voters who had been perhaps declared dead in the list which was prepared, Vasudha, and they were not finding their name in the 65 lakh, they were part of the 65 lakh deletion. That's a huge number. But Election Commission's own process of cleanup has been lauded by the Apex Court. So while the Apex Court has given the petitioners to a great degree what they wanted, because the petitioners of course felt that because of the timing of the exercise, the elections are around the corner. Perhaps sometime in the month of September, the election dates will be announced for Bihar. They also wanted to send the Supreme Court has sent that message that there is a need for an electoral cleanup. A revision must happen. So there is no stay in the ongoing process, but at the same time, certain checks and balances are being ensured here.
So Supreme Court setting the guardrails there. Thank you, Maria, for joining us with those insights. Supreme Court's interim order asking ECI to publish deleted voter lists. In fact, has also asked for these enumerated lists to be published at district level. It has also asked ECI to accept Aadhaar identity document, and that all of this needs to be broadcast extensively is what the ECI has been directed to do by the Supreme Court of India today. Meanwhile, breaking news now, police sources have told NDTV that actor Darshan has been arrested. Actor Darshan has been arrested, and this is after Supreme Court cancelled his bail order. Darshan has been arrested. His partner Pavitra Gowda has already been in police custody after the order of the Supreme Court. Remember, both Darshan and Pavitra Gowda are accused in the murder of Renuka Sami, a fan of actor Darshan, who was assaulted, kidnapped and allegedly murdered by the actor. Just earlier, NDTV also accessed a full order of the Supreme Court on the cancellation of Darshan's bail. Supreme Court had pulled up the Karnataka High Court and had said that popularity of any person cannot be a shield for immunity against any crime, and social status cannot be the basis for bail. And now what we understand is that Darshan has been arrested by police officials in Bengaluru, and this is after the Supreme Court cancelled his bail order that was given by Karnataka High Court. In fact, the Supreme Court called it of law. Darshan has been arrested now, and he's an accused in the murder of his own Renuka Sami case that saw Darshan and his partner Pavitra Gowda getting arrested. NDTV, in fact, had also accessed the full order of the Supreme Court cancelling his bail order, and Supreme Court had said that it was the High Court that committed perversity in giving bail to Darshan. Darshan has also been used for getting VIP treatment in the jails of Bengaluru. He was also seen not just at a movie screening, but also he was seen relaxing with a cup of coffee. My colleague Deepak Bopanna joins us with more details on this. Deepak, we were just expecting this to happen, but actor Darshan has been finally arrested. Tell us a little bit about how and when did this happen?
Well, the information that we are picking up right now is that Darshan has, gone to his wife's residence in Hoskerehalli. This is an apartment complex. We are, of course, going to be bringing our viewers live visuals from that spot as well. Darshan is believed to have entered from the exit gate to ensure that he does not fall under the glare of the cameras that were waiting at the front entrance of his apartment. He has gone there. He has met with his wife and son. The police have as well reached there. That's when they have arrested him, and they'll eventually, of course, right now, as per formality, either take him to the police station or directly to court. At the court here, I'm at the City Civil Court complex. You can see a lot of policemen deployed at the entrance and at the gates as well. A KSRP vehicle was also just taken inside, and there is deployment all across this stretch of the road, because whenever Darshan is brought to court, you do see a frenzy. Even advocates line up across the stretch of the corridors. I'm just going to ask my video journalist Govind here to pan. When Darshan has come here, we've seen the entire corridor, the balconies there are full of people, either witnesses who've come to the court or advocates. Right now, it is, of course, calm because Darshan is not yet here. It all depends on how the police really look at this. If they feel that, it's going to be a lot of risk or a lot of security that's needed at the courts at this juncture to bring him is not best suited in the interest of security, they may even produce him before magistrate at the residence of the magistrate is what I'm told. After that, of course, he'll be sent to prison. As per protocols, of course, there needs to be a medical examination as well that needs to be done after he's produced in court. So those formalities will be done. But right now, what we can tell our viewers is that Darshan, who's accused number 2, Pavitra Gowda accused number 1, and 3 others, Pradosh, Lakshman and another individual as well have been taken into custody out of 7. 5 right now in the custody of the police, 2 more as well will be very soon brought in. All of them will be produced before court and eventually sent back to prison.
Right. Also joining us now is Nupur. Deepak, do stay with us. We'll keep coming back to you. Nupur, help us understand a little bit about the Supreme Court's order today cancelling Darshan's bail. In fact, the Supreme Court has set aside Karnataka High Court order that actually gave him that bail, calling it perversity of justice. Does this happen? Quite often in the realm of justice?
Vasudha, it is not a very new thing that a Supreme Court is setting aside a bail order. But what makes this one a rare one is that the Supreme Court has used its extraordinary powers here. It has not only directed cancellation of bail, but has also made some glaring observations about the way High Court conducted the hearing. The Supreme Court observed that the High Court had no business conducting day-to-day trial-like hearing, the cross-examination of witnesses. That should happen first at the trial court level. That was the view of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also said that the way he has been granted bail could, in fact, led to affecting the witnesses, impacting the witnesses. So there were several strong observations today made by the Supreme Court. And what makes this judgment a landmark judgment is that the Supreme Court has made several observations about how just because you are popular or powerful, you tend to not take the highway or a high road when it comes to obeying law. The Supreme Court said that the actor will not be doing any favor by obeying our orders. It is the right and it is his duty to obey our orders and surrender to the police. So there were some very glaring observations. The Supreme Court said that no one is above law. The Supreme Court also made this particular direction to the state police that if the Supreme Court found that there were in fact some 5-star treatment being meted out to the actor and the actress and anyone related to this case or any other case, if any person is getting some kind of VIP or 5-star treatment inside prisons, then the Supreme Court will take strictest of action, which includes suspension of SPs and police officers.
Right. Thank you, Nupur, and thank you, Deepak, for joining us with those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on this case. Actor Darshan has been arrested now, and this is after Supreme Court that set aside an order by Karnataka High Court that granted him bail. In fact, it cancelled his bail order today, and now he has been arrested. Moving on to some other news now. Rahul Gandhi's dead economy has now been met with severe criticism by the BJP, and this is after SNP upgraded India's ratings today, and this is why BJP has also hit out at Congress leader and leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, remember, had called India's economy a dead economy, reiterating what US President Donald Trump had said a few days ago. BJP has now said that Rahul Gandhi pushed the dead economy delusion and that data is completely against what he is saying. BJP has also said that Rahul Gandhi roots for India's failure when when the truth actually says it has been a success. My colleague Akhilesh joins us with more details on this. Akhilesh, help us understand this new ammunition that the BJP has with regard to the SNP upgrading India's ratings. This is clearly more power for the BJP in criticizing Rahul Gandhi. Help us understand the context to this.
Well, it's very important context, not only a political context, but also economically. It's very important in the sense that recently the USA has imposed tariff on India, but the SNP has not gone into that sector. In fact, has suggested that in the coming years, maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, India's economy is going to go stronger from this point of time. In fact, SNP has upgraded India's rating, and that's a very important step as far as the economy is concerned. It's a very good sign for the Indian economy. Now, coming to the political point, you know that when Donald Trump called India's economy is a dead economy, just like Russia's economy, that point of time, Rahul Gandhi, who was the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, pointed it out and saying very clearly that he has been mentioning it for a very long time that India's economy is not progressing under Modi government. But now, with this S&P rating upgrade, now the BJP has hit back to Rahul Gandhi, saying very clearly that what about his own comment about dead economy, and now he has to recall his own words.
Thank you, Akhilesh, for joining us with those details. BJP taking on the Congress party for its dead economy comment and citing S&P's new rankings, which upgrades India's ratings. Moving on to other breaking news now. There's been a voter list face-off with the Supreme Court now asking ECI to publish the list of all deleted voters by Tuesday. Now, Union Minister and BJP leader Gajendra Shekhawat has slammed the Congress party, and he has in fact claimed that it was Jawaharlal Nehru who was also responsible for vote theft and for discrepancies in voter lists of India. Shekhawat has gone to an extent of saying that during the time of Jawaharlal Nehru, who's also India's first Prime Minister, nitric acid used to be put in ballot boxes.
के चुनाव में तत्कालीन नेता आदरणीय स्वर्गीय जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी के नेतृत्व में बैलेट बॉक्स जो भरे हुए थे उनमें नाइट्रिक एसिड डाल करके उन बैलेट बॉक्सेस में भरे हुए वोटों को जहां जिनके चलते हुए परिणाम निगेटिवली इंपैक्ट हो सकता था उनको नष्ट भ्रष्ट करने की घटनाएं अखबारों में छपी थी। उनके बाद के कालखंड में गांधी नेहरू परिवार ने एक बार फिर सत्ता में बने रहने के लिए जिस तरह से इंदिरा गांधी जी के चुनाव के समय में सरकारी संसाधनों का दुरुपयोग करने के साथ साथ में मतदाताओं को प्रभावित करने के लिए अनैतिक तरीकों का इस्तेमाल किया, जिस पर इलाहाबाद हाईकोर्ट ने उनके इलेक्शन को खारिज किया था, वो हम सब के संज्ञान में है। सोनिया गांधी जी, कल एक प्रश्न उनको लेकर के पूछा गया था और मैं आश्चर्यचकित हूं कि किसी भी विषय का तुरंत फुरत जवाब देने के लिए जो कांग्रेस पार्टी के सिपहसालार सामने आते हैं, 24 घंटे बीत जाने के बाद में भी कांग्रेस पार्टी में उस प्रश्न को लेकर के न परिवार की तरफ से और न पार्टी की तरफ से किसी तरह का कोई प्रत्युत्तर आया है। पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी उस पर मौन साधे हुए, ये अपने आप में एक प्रश्न चिन्ह है।
Well, Pooja Tripathi joins us and she's from the Congress party. Pooja Tripathi, thank you so much for being part of this broadcast. You just heard Gajendra Shekhawat, India's Culture and Tourism Minister and BJP leader, accusing the Congress party of having this legacy of vote theft. And this is something that even Anurag Thakur also talked about, Bhupendra Yadav and senior ministers, Dharmendra Pradhan also talked about. How do you respond to something like this? Because they are saying that it is the Congress party, it's the UPA that for years has indulged in vote theft or created discrepancies in the voter lists. Okay, we'll just try connecting with Pooja Tripathi in just a bit. That was Gajendra Shekhawat, Culture and Tourism Minister, blaming the Congress party for creating discrepancies in voter list and going to an extent of adding nitric acid in ballot boxes to prevent voters from casting votes of their choice. In fact, he has dragged in India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and he has also talked about how the UPA and the Congress party consistently indulged in creating discrepancies in India's voter list. With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Supreme Court passes interim order on SIR. Supreme Court has asked that Aadhaar be accepted as ID proof. Supreme Court has also directed ECI to display reasons of non-inclusion of voters. Massive cloudburst in J&K's Kishtwar. At least 10 people feared dead. Home Minister Amit Shah speaks to J&K Chief Minister, also the LG. In a rain-related tragedy, a tree falls on citizens during monsoons in Delhi. 1 dead, 2 people have been injured. It's a big Supreme Court setback for actor Darshan. Bail cancelled. No one is above law, Supreme Court says.
And you know, that's why it's being said that after Kaho Na Pyar Hai,
Yeah.
this is the film that has got 2 superstar debutants who are becoming superstars. But what was this faith that you had on these two that you know, that shows on screen?
You know, you don't plan to make a blockbuster. You plan to make a good film. And that's what I think they never let me, you know, they didn't put that pressure on me to live up to. They never gave me a number that we have to hit or a so-called figure that I have to open to. There was, all these trappings were just not there, which normally producers do end up putting that pressure. You know, then you make wrong things. Then you add a song for a shadi song, add a Punjabi song. All these trappings were not there in this film. They were like, just go there and make your film. Do this script. We love this script and make it honestly. And I think the minute that happened, a filmmaker has I could just spread my wings and just go out, not worrying about a few. I think when you do that, you get a little more fearless, and then that's what got picked up by people. So I cast appropriate for the film. I didn't cast thinking. I cast what felt right.
You were saying that you are going to say no to him.
Yeah. But that's his fault. Huh? He was now you see, now that we can talk about the film, Krish Kapoor cannot be a timid, sweet boy.
Yes,
sir, how are you, sir?
Last time we spoke.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this guy? He was a sweet boy. And then by the end of the night, I could see the boisterous self, and I could see the Krish Kapoor who could stand on top and say, don't forget this name, it's Krish Kapoor. So I think I was looking for that a bit. I needed a spark of that.
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth for CXO and business leaders by NDTV, Terry and Zenora. Master global ESG frameworks, gain real-world tools and lead with impact. Starts August the 23rd. Enroll now and power your business with sustainability.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power. What is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux. From conflict to India's crowning glory, I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
एक जरा इंतजार सुन सदाएं दे रही है मंजिल प्यार की
जय जवान जय हिंद जय हिंद
हेलो बोलिए मैडम डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसे हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है
मैडम एक बार को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your
Supreme Court passes interim order on SIR matter. Supreme Court has asked ECI to accept Aadhaar as ID proof. It has also asked ECI to display reasons of non-inclusion of voters. There's been a massive cloudburst in J&K's Kishtwar. Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken to J&K Chief Minister and LG of Jammu and Kashmir. At least 10 people fear death. In a rain-related tragedy, a tree falls on citizens during rains. 1 dead, 2 people injured. There's a big Supreme Court setback for actor Darshan. Bail cancelled. No one is above law, says Supreme Court.
presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Well, India has slammed Pakistan's nuclear threats, and MEA has now responded to Asim Munir's nuclear threats, and it has also criticized Pakistan's reckless, hateful comments against India. My colleague Vishnu Shom joins us with more details on this. Vishnu, help us understand a little bit about how the MEA has responded to Pakistan's nuclear threats.
Well, as you know, the Pakistani general, their so-called Field Marshal Asim Munir, has been in the United States recently, his second visit to the country. And on that, on American soil, he started nuclear saber rattling and saying that, if India was to build a dam, which prevented the flow of water into Pakistan, then, they would consider using nuclear weapons and take half the world down with them. Now, these were bizarre statements which were made, to which the External Affairs Ministry has now said, we've seen reports regarding a continuing pattern of reckless warmongering and hateful comments from Pakistan. It's a well-known modus operandi of the Pakistani leadership to whip up anti-India rhetoric time and again to hide their own failures. Pakistan would be well advised to temper its rhetoric, as any misadventure will have painful consequences, as was demonstrated recently. So India sort of fighting fire, in a sense, with fire, making it clear to Pakistan that, cut down on the rhetoric and be realistic about what you're saying.
With us, as the deadline for tariffs, US's tariffs gets closer, India-US relationship has weathered many challenges. This is what MEA has said today. MEA has also said that the ties will move forward. It's optimistic. MEA has also said that India-US focused on substantive agenda. Let's listen in to what the MEA spokesperson said today.
जो हिंदी के यहाँ पर श्रोतागण हैं, उनके लिए मैं अंग्रेजी में जो हमने वक्तव्य दिया उसको मैं हिंदी में रूपांतर कर देता हूँ। हमने भारत के खिलाफ पाकिस्तानी नेतृत्व के लापरवाह, युद्ध भड़काने वाले और नफरत भरे बयानों के निरंतर सिलसिले पर रिपोर्टें देखी हैं। अपनी नाकामियों को छुपाने के लिए बार बार भारत विरोधी बयानबाजी को हवा देना पाकिस्तानी नेतृत्व का जाना माना तरीका है, जिससे आप भली भांति अवगत हैं। पाकिस्तान को सलाह देते हैं कि वह अपनी बयानबाजी में संयम रखे, क्योंकि जैसा कि अभी हाल ही में हमने देखा था और आप लोगों ने भी देखा था, किसी भी प्रकार के दुस्साहस का परिणाम दर्दनाक होगा।
Well, MEA has also said that India-US ties have weathered many challenges, and MEA is optimistic that the ties will move forward. My colleague Vishnu Shom is still with us. Vishnu, help us understand, the Alaska meeting is coming up, and also the deadline for US tariffs to kick off. Help us understand what has the MEA said today with regard to the US-India ties. But before that, let's listen in to what the MEA spokesperson said.
India and the United States share a comprehensive global strategic partnership anchored in shared interests, democratic values and robust people-to-people ties. This partnership has weathered several transitions and challenges, as we had said earlier as well. We remain focused on the substantive agenda that the two countries have committed to, and we hope that the relationship will continue to move forward based on mutual respect and shared interests. The India-US defense partnership, underpinned by foundational defense agreements, is an important pillar of the bilateral partnership. This robust cooperation has strengthened across several domains. We are expecting a US defense policy team to be in Delhi in mid-August. The 21st edition of the joint military exercise Yuddha Abhyas is also expected to take place later this month in Alaska. Both sides remain engaged to convene the 2+2 intersessional meeting at the working level towards the end of this month.
Vishnu, so is India being cautiously optimistic, and also talk to us about the new collaborations that Mr. Jaiswal is talking about?
I think, Vasudha, this is an extremely important statement, and it comes at a time when the India-US relationship has been fraught with challenges linked to Donald Trump imposing 50% tariffs on India, 25% of which are because of our continued import of Russian oil. This statement is a mature statement. It seems to indicate that India values the strategic relationship with the United States. I think the fact that India said that this partnership has weathered several transitions and challenges points to the fact that we understand that there are problems, there have been problems in the past, and we hope we can fix the problems. But the last statement is important. We hope that the relationship will continue to move forward based on mutual respect and shared interests. So this is again important. It comes at a time when India has been, facing this onslaught of comments from Donald Trump. But I think New Delhi is playing the long game over here, looking at the relationship for what it's worth, a relationship that's really been built up over the last several decades, playing the long game in a sense, and hoping that the situation is righted sooner than later. The India-US relationship is fundamental to our diplomatic interests, our economic interests, and indeed our military interests. And the fact that there's also a mention on Indo-US defense ties and how the 21st edition of joint military exercises will be held, how there are important 2+2 intersessional meetings which are planned and will continue as always, points to the fact that New Delhi, I presume on the basis of talks with America, have agreed that they will continue the relationship essentially at the level at which we've seen in the past. Obviously, there are challenges associated with sanctions, and quite clearly there are no solutions to that which appear imminent.
Right. Thank you, Vishnu Shom, for joining us with those details. Vishnu Shom of NDTV, they're explaining the significance of MEA, saying that ties of India and United States of America will move forward, being cautiously optimistic here. And like Vishnu was explaining, that the timing of the statement is extremely important. Moving on, a massive cloudburst struck Chashoti village in Jammu Kashmir's Kishtwar on Thursday. In fact, the incident also took place along the pilgrimage route. Rescue operations are underway with J&K police, SDRF and the army actively involved in rescue efforts. The incident took place along the route of the historic Machali Mata Yatra. According to sources, a large langar was set up for pilgrims and it got completely washed away. Union Minister Jitendra Singh, who is also an MP from J&K, said he spoke to Kishtwar's Deputy Commissioner Pankaj Kumar Sharma after being alerted by Leader of Opposition in J&K Assembly. In fact, Home Minister of the country, Amit Shah, has also spoken to J&K Chief Minister Omar Abdullah and the LG of J&K, Manoj Sinha, with regard to this. Agencies are working on ground and rescue operations are going on. Meanwhile, 12 bodies have been recovered, and the official count of the people who have died in this unfortunate incident is yet to be out, but 12 bodies have been recovered.
There has been a massive cloudburst in the area which he represents, which also happens to be possibly the route of the very popular Bachel Yatra, which takes place over there during this part of the year. And the cloudburst is of a massive scale. which could possibly lead to a substantial casualty, which is not yet been worked out. As immediately we got in touch with the district administration, and the district administration was also at a loss because it had taken everybody by surprise. The rescue teams have already swung into action. Very soon we'll get more details. My office, me, we are all in touch with each other. But every possible assistance will be provided, whatever required, even including the medical management. If there are certain injured who need to be shifted out, the administration will also make arrangements of airlifting through the helicopter, which is of course subject to the weather conditions.
My colleague Nazir joins us on the phone line. Nazir, you've been reporting on this tragedy. Help us understand the update on rescue operations there.
Well, rescue operations are underway, but the fact is reaching to the area is clearly not easy. For example, if I talk about my own self, we're trying to reach but the Sinthan, which is between Anantnag and the Kishtwar, that is now closed because of the heavy rains. Now we have to move back, go via Jammu side and reach there. Really something which could have taken us 5-6 hours would take much more time. So they are actually because of the weather and because of the road closure, even the rescue missions are not reaching quickly as they could have because of the weather conditions. I spoke to some of locals. They are saying 17 people have died. Their bodies have been recovered. And Pooja Thakur, one of the local representatives, told me at Thori Hospital, 100 injured have been brought in. So they are being treated. But there are many people who are missing. Officials and the locals have joined the rescue operation initially, and the more rescue teams are rushing to the area. But there have been, challenges, logistical challenge, and because of the road closure due to landslides at different places is actually hampering that process, actually reaching the relief and the rescuers to the site as early as possible. So it is a difficult situation because this is a mountainous area, terrain is very difficult, and the heavy rains, which are right now going on as I said here at Sinthan Top, very, very heavy rains, and which has closed the Sinthan Top, which connects the Kashmir Valley with Kishtwar region. That is closed now. So it is a difficult thing because from this side, if people wanted to go from Srinagar and reach there, so it would be difficult for them. Now they have to go all the way from Jammu side and reach there. So things so long that weather is actually creating again a problem. That it was a massive cloudburst which hit a community kitchen or the langar of Machal Yatra.
And what we understand, Nazir, is that 12 bodies have been recovered now, but like you rightly pointed out, the official count is not out, and that really is not as important as the rescue operations that are going on. We'll keep coming back to you, Nazir, as you travel to Kishtwar. Also help us understand in terms of the challenges to the rescue operations, and we've been talking about cloudburst, landslides in all vulnerable parts of the country, especially in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and also J&K. Yes, Nazir, we'll try connecting with Nazir in just a bit. It's time for a short break. We'll see you on the other side. Supreme Court passes an interim order on SIR, asks ECI to publish details of all deleted voters. A tragic in J&K's Kishtwar, 12 bodies have been recovered. A rain-related incident in Kalkaji in New Delhi, tree falls on citizens, 1 dead. Actor Darshan faces a setback from Supreme Court cancelling his bail. He has been arrested by police now.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
First, when Sayara released and we as audience realized, oh my God, what is happening? When did you realize it? It's like, whoa, I didn't expect this. What is happening? Like that wave that hits you.
The first thing that really hit me, I'm telling you, was a month back actually, to be honest, is when Adisa saw the film. And he saw a very loose cut and he decided the release date. But he was always, like me and Akshay were so into making the film, I think, along with Sumanna and all. Sometimes when you're so into it and you don't realize, you don't see it from, and then he saw it from a third person perspective. I mean, he was always super confident about the film. And he actually had this talk with me about how I've done. And yeah, we all grew up. I was in the 8th grade when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and said I want to make a love story like this. For a person like him to say that, you've made a great film. All he had asked for me was to make your best film for me. And I did, and I'm just glad so that was the first thing, and that validation was great. I wasn't shouting over the roof for it. It gives you a lot of confidence at that moment,
Absolutely.
for the person who's actually put his money where it is, and he wasn't talking about anything else, but on a very unassembled film at that time, could feel the emotion and be listening. But it was the first time we felt that we made something special. But yes, once the numbers came in, I think then it was Akshay.
The advance.
Yeah, and the advances came in, and then people were sending me messages, and all they said, no, don't listen to anyone. So I at one point just put my phone off and said, this is getting too out of hand. And then in the night we got the number.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves and Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edappadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test. Well, Prime Minister Modi has reacted to the tragic incident of Cloudburst in J&K. 12 bodies have been officially recovered. The official count of people who have died in this tragic incident is not out yet. Rescue operations are on. NDRF, SDRF is working on it. And Prime Minister Modi has now tweeted, he has posted on X with regard to this tragic incident. My thoughts and prayers are with those affected by the cloudburst. My thoughts and prayers are with those affected by the cloudburst and flooding in Kishtwar, Jammu and Kashmir. The situation is being monitored closely. That's what the Prime Minister has said. He's also said that rescue and relief operations are underway and that every possible assistance will be provided to those in need. This has happened in J&K's Kishtwar. J&K remains a union territory, so the centre has a lot of role to play in this, and the Prime Minister has spoken just minutes after Home Minister Amit Shah also spoke to the Chief Minister and the LG of J&K, assuring all possible help from the centre with regard to handling the tragedy. It's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Mohit, you are known for your music. All your films, musics stay with us till today. I'm a millennial and those music are kind of music. So whenever we say Mohit Suri film aa raha hai, we know the music will be good, right? It's a given. So you really work hard. But is this always like how you create your music? You need everything in place, the mood, the lighting, even when the person is in the studio and just singing. And also, how did you select your musicians that this person's voice is perfect for this song?
That's what I think, the amount you give to a song, that's how long it will last, I think. Everyone does the programming, everyone writes the words, everyone makes the thing. But the thing is how much you give, how much of heart you give to the lyrics or to the music or to the melody or to the singing, that's how long the song will last, is what I genuinely feel. If you don't give that love, you're not going to get it back. It's just a simple debit and credit procedure, I think, with the audience. I genuinely feel I don't have any special skill. I don't know any scale or anything else. It's just that I enjoy that process a lot. Give me an evening to just go for a film party or something, I'll skip it. But you give me like a struggling musician to go who has a great tune, some new guys, chill all night with them. I can do that. I can just sit there, make music and stuff like that. We just did that recently. Fahim came down. He just surprised us, and we met in my Bandra office, and Han was there, Aneet was there, and he made me hear his other songs and stuff like that. But it was it's so much fun, because I just think making music, I mean, film, you still get to see something. Yeah. I think music is so amazing. I mean, you don't need to see anything. It's in the air, and suddenly it just comes together, and it's just, you can just feel it. And something you hear makes you feel something. It's just magical.
जय जवान, जो मैंने शुरू किया था ये एक्चुअली, मैं दोबारा आया हूँ आप लोग से मिलने के लिए. मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आप देख रहे हैं YouTube पे मेरी फिल्म. वाह, क्या बात है, क्या बात है. देखिए जय जवान मेरे साथ 15 अगस्त को सिर्फ NDTV पर. जय जवान, जय जवान, जय हिंद, जय हिंद.
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth.
A massive cloudburst incident in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar. At least 10 people are feared dead. Prime Minister has taken the stock of the situation there in Kishtwar. Meanwhile, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah has spoken to the Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister as well as the Lieutenant Governor. A tree falls on a citizen during rain in Delhi's Kalkaji. One person has died, 2 others are injured in this tragedy. Meanwhile, the political blame game over the rain mess has now begun. After action, actor Darshan's bail was cancelled. He has now been taken into custody. The Supreme Court, in the meanwhile, has said that no one is above the law. The Supreme Court passes an interim order on the special intensive revision exercise. The Supreme Court says that to Election Commission to accept Aadhaar as an ID proof, and that it must display the reason of non-inclusion. The Supreme Court tells the Election Commission to publish the details of all the deleted voters by Tuesday. The sacked Samajwadi Party MLA Pooja Pal, she speaks to NDTV. Akhilesh Yadav, remember, had expelled MLA Pooja Pal. She had praised Yogi's action against gangster Atiq. Pooja Pal, she said that she voiced what she felt was right. Hello and welcome. You're watching Prime 5. I'm Sama Shab, starting this bulletin with breaking news. And these are first images of actor Darshan at the police station. He is now being taken for his medical. Actor Darshan is now in police custody. Remember, hours after his bail, it was cancelled by the Supreme Court in connection with the murder of his fan Renuka Swamy. Actor Darshan, he was arrested by the Bengaluru police. Sources said that Darshan went to his wife's residence in Bengaluru's Hoshakare Hali and entered from the exit gate to avoid the media. He met his wife and his son and was then taken into custody. Remember, earlier on Wednesday, a Supreme Court bench had cancelled the bail that was given to the popular Kannada actor, ordering that he be taken into custody. It was a bench of Justices J.V. Pardiwala and R. Mahadevan who had said he could influence the witnesses and the trial could be impacted if he remained out on bail. So this is the big breaking story that we are getting you at this point of time. Actor Darshan, he has been taken into custody, and these are the first images of actor Darshan being taken to jail. He had been arrested and this is after his bail was cancelled by none other than the Supreme Court, and this is hours after his bail was cancelled by the Supreme Court. He was taken into custody by the Bengaluru police. Sources have also suggested that he went to meet his wife and his son, after which he was taken into custody. And this is on Wednesday that the Supreme Court bench had cancelled the bail that was given to the popular Kannada actor Darshan. Remember, actor Darshan, he was arrested in connection with the murder of his fan Renuka Swami. So these are the images that you can see actor Darshan sitting in that police van being taken to the police station. These are the first images that have come out after actor Darshan was arrested. He is first being taken for a medical examination, which is the protocol, after which he will then be taken to the police station. And remember, as I mentioned earlier, the Supreme Court had cancelled his bail. There was a lot of outroar over actor Darshan getting bail, and the Supreme Court intervened and had cancelled that bail, and police have now taken him into custody. My colleague Deepak Bopanna, he joins us on the broadcast to get us more on this. Deepak, take us through the details.
It's a developing story in terms of the process that's going on after the Supreme Court, of course, cancelled the bail of actor Darshan, came down so heavily on the Karnataka High Court, made some stinging observations, and more importantly, set a precedent of sorts, and also restored the faith of not just the family of Renuka Swami here, but thousands of people who think that the high and mighty usually get away, be it the police or be it even the judiciary goes easy on the high and mighty, was somewhere lingering in the minds of people because of cases like this. But the Supreme Court, of course, through this judgment has made it very clear. Whatever your position or might be, the law is law, and it is the same for everyone. They have said that this is a man who tried to subvert the entire process being inside prison, and he's very much capable of doing it outside, and that's why his bail has been cancelled. He made his way to his wife's apartment in Hoskere-Halli, met with her and his son, is what I'm told. The police up there, picking him up, taking him to the Annapurneshwari police station. A medical checkup will be done. He will eventually be produced in court. The court, of course, will then direct that Darshan would go back to prison. Which prison will he go back to? Whether it's going to be the central prison here in Parapanagarara in Bengaluru, or Lari, where he was last stationed. That is, of course, something that remains to be seen. Last time while he was at Parapanagarara, those pictures of him having and a cigarette as if he was on a picnic. Hopefully we don't get to see that this time around when he goes back to jail.
All right, Deepak Bopanna there. Thank you very much for getting us all those details. Meanwhile, shifting our focus to the national capital, a large tree fell on a bike in Delhi's Kalkaji area. This was after the heavy rain in the national capital. It killed one person and injuring two others. A vehicle nearby was also hit in this accident, and several video of this incident has emerged on the social media. And in one such clip, it shows a woman who was stuck under the tree, hanging to a trunk to save herself from drowning and getting hurt. This tree fell on a vehicle in the Kalkaji area of the national capital. My colleague Ankit Tyagi is also there with us. Ankit, over to you.
Thank you, Osama. A sad day for the national capital, and it seems that at this moment the entire infrastructure
of the capital city is in shambles. In fact, what happened today is shameful for any capital. A man lost his life, his daughter severely injured along with another person while they were on their way. So it's just that, you leave your house for your daily activities. It's raining. It was not even windy today when this massive tree fell on this person and he lost his life. Let me very quickly go across at this moment to former Chief Minister of Delhi, Atishi, who is joining us at this moment exclusively here on NDTV. Atishi, thank you so much for speaking to us. Let me begin by asking you, at this moment, since the morning we are seeing visuals of waterlogged streets in the national capital, whether it's the posh areas or any sector of Delhi, there is water all across. In your constituency of Kalkaji, a very tragic incident, a man has lost his life. Okay, Atishi, can you hear me?
Can you just repeat what you just said?
All right, thank you for joining us here on NDTV, Atishi. Let me begin by asking you, again, former Chief Minister of Delhi, Kalkaji is your constituency. A very tragic incident. This life should not have ended the way it has. He was going with his daughter, dropping her to her school, and this tree fell and he died. An absolutely useless, needless way to say that nobody should have, had this fate that this man had. And at this moment, the question is, who's responsible for the shambles that the capital is in at this moment?
Has fallen is because of the water logging on that road.
Go ahead,
For
go ahead,
the last
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Months, repeatedly, we have written to the government and asked them to ensure that the proper desilting happens. This government has been claiming that they have cleared all the desilting, they have cleaned all the drains. Hundreds of crores of rupees have been spent in the name of monsoon preparation. And it is very clear from what has happened in the last several rains that there is absolutely no preparation. It is also very clear that all the hundreds of crores seem to have gone into the pockets of the BJP leaders. Otherwise, what are we seeing? Every part of Delhi is waterlogged. North to south, east to west, everything is waterlogged. And all underpasses are waterlogged on the way to the airport, be it the Dwarka underpass, be it the Pragati Maidan underpass. All posh parts of Delhi, so-called posh colonies, are also completely waterlogged. Where are these hundreds of crores rupees gone? And not just this, it is also criminal negligence, because today, with the death of this gentleman who has been crushed to death under this tree,
yes,
the death toll in this monsoon has gone up to 20. 20 people have died because of these rains. Who is responsible? Our demand is that the PWD minister, Mr. Pravesh Sahib Singh Verma, must resign immediately, or the Chief Minister Rekha Gupta must immediately dismiss him from the cabinet for this criminal negligence.
The BJP will reply and say that it's just been almost 5 months that they have been in power. 11 years of the Aam Aadmi Party government, and this is what their ministers, in fact, are coming out and saying, give us more time. 11 years, nothing happened under the Aam Aadmi Party government, and that is why Delhi is facing the fate that it is.
But Ankit, waterlogging was never this bad. This monsoon has seen waterlogging in parts of this city that had never experienced this problem before. The number of areas which are waterlogged, the number of times they are waterlogged, the time period for which they remain waterlogged, everything has increased exponentially. I want to know what has happened to the hundreds of crores that have been spent by the Delhi government in the name of preparing for the monsoons, in the name of desilting of all the drains. Okay. Mr. Pravesh Verma is the PWD minister. Mr. Pravesh Verma is the irrigation and flood control minister. He is responsible for ensuring there is no water logging on the streets of Delhi. With this water logging in the past 1 month, 20 people have lost their lives.
Okay.
Does someone not have to take responsibility for it?
Can I also ask you, because you are also the MLA of the Kalkaji constituency where this incident took place, have you or your team, did you flag some of these discrepancies in your constituency? Because it's a huge tree that fell today. I don't know, the reasons will have to be looked into, whether it was the MCD not pruning it properly, whether it was concretization around this tree. All those things will have to be looked into possibly in an investigation. But being the MLA of the area, did you flag up some of these issues to the government?
Ankit, if you were to look at the video, if you have seen the CCTV footage of the crashing of that tree, you can see that water is accumulated all around that tree, and water was accumulated for a very long period of time. And it is that water logging that has basically weakened the hold the tree had in the soil, and the tree has fallen over. Repeatedly, as the MLA of the constituency, I have been asking the department, I have been writing to the minister, to the chief minister, asking them to ensure that proper desilting of drains happens. But clearly when it rains, the question still remains, where are these hundreds of crores of rupees gone that have been spent in the name of monsoon preparedness, and why? Why is no one taking responsibilities for 20 deaths that have happened in the past 1 month since the monsoon has hit Delhi?
Okay, my last...
And where are the chief minister and the PWD minister?
Okay, let me conclude.
Last week on Raksha Bandhan,
yes,
in the Badarpur constituency, because of waterlogging, a wall fell, I think 10 people died. The minister or the chief minister did not even go there to express their condolences, to meet the family, to go see the ground situation. Today, when there has been a death in Kalkaji, there is no sign on the roads of the chief minister or the PWD minister. The whole of Delhi is reeling under water logging.
Okay.
And the people responsible, the chief minister, the PWD minister, they are all locked inside their houses and do not even have the courage to step out and evaluate the situation.
All right, Atishi, thank you so much for speaking to us. I request you to stay on with us. We can also, our viewers at our sister channel, NDTV India, would want to also, of course, hear your views on this. Thank you at this moment for tuning in and, getting us your point of view on this very important story.
All right, breaking news coming in at this point of time. Details of Operation Sindur Gallantry Awards. It is now coming out, and Sarvottam Yudh Medal has been announced for 4 Indian Air Force officers. This includes Air Marshal Narmdeshwar Tiwari, Air Marshal Nagesh Kapoor, and Air Marshal E.K. Bharti. In fact, 13 Indian Air Force officers, they have been awarded the Distinguished Yuddha Seva Medal for playing an important role in executing these attacks and defend our own airspace. This includes, as I mentioned, Officer Air Marshal Narmdeshwar Tiwari, Air Marshal Nagesh Kapoor, and Air Marshal A.K. Bharti. So many of India's finest in uniform, they have been awarded the Sarvottam Yudh Medal for these 4 Indian Air Force officers. In fact, Shiv Arur also joins us to get us more on this. Shiv, as I mentioned, 4 of India's finest in uniform, all honored with this medal. Take us through the details.
This is military history, because this is for the first time that the Indian Air Force has outshined the other two forces. Not that there is any competition. Every war is different. But this is the first time that the Indian Air Force has actually outshined the Army and the Navy in the number of wartime decorations. Now, the four men on your screen, all military planners. You've got the Vice Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Narendeshwar Tiwari, who I've had the privilege of actually flying with many years ago. You've got the Air Officers, Commanding-in-Chief of the Southern Air Command, as well as the Western Air Command, which is the sword arm of the Indian Air Force, and the Director General of Air Operations, Air Marshal Bharti, who has become something of a national icon thanks to those post-Operation Sindur press conferences. These four Air Marshals have been decorated with what is called the Sarvottam Yudh Seva Medal, which is the highest wartime decoration for distinguished service. Now, the SYSM has been, has been awarded to officers in the past as well. But of the 7 decorations of SYSM that have been handed down to the forces this year, the Air Force gets 4 of them, the 4 officers on our screen right now, 2 to the Army and 1 to the Navy. And that ratio very, very clearly tells you the Air Force's outsized role in Operation Sindur, which is not surprising. We've all known it to be very, very true. The airstrikes were the defining feature of Operation Sindur, both on terror training camps as well as a vast number of air bases in Pakistan across the country. It was the application of air power controlled, designed and kind of manifested by the 4 men you see on your screen who've won the SYSM that resulted in just 80 hours of combat and then Pakistan practically pleading for a ceasefire. So the highest wartime decoration for distinguished service going to these 4 air marshals is very, very fitting, and on Independence Day they will be thus decorated.
And Shiv, beyond the medals, what does this say about India's growing military power and the strategic edge? And this is something that we have seen during the Operation Sindur as well.
This is a very good question, Osama, because, in all of our operations, all of our wars in the past, it has always been the army that has been front and center. Land operations have always been, the centerpiece of all Indian defensive or offensive operations. In any of the conflicts, if you see, including our most recent one, which was Kargil, it has always been the army that's been at the forefront. This is actually historic. What happened after after Pahalgam and Operation Sindur is that this was for the first time where air power, the use of Indian air power, pretty much outclassed everything else on the table. Now, this is not for a moment to suggest that the Army and the Navy didn't do their work. They did an incredible amount of work, and the decorations they get reflect that. All I'm saying is, in terms of what was required to execute India's military objectives at that time, it was the Air Force that was seen most capable of doing so because of reach, because of the ability to actually strike targets at very, very deep ranges inside Pakistan. And therefore, it was the Indian Air Force that needed to bring to bear, many, many years of training for these kinds of missions. And it did so in an incredibly admirable way. India did not lose a single pilot. In India, the Indian Air Force executed the kind of paralysis of Pakistani air defense that has perhaps never been subjected to in that country ever before. It was a historic mission that lasted just 4 days, and Pakistan, came crawling in some ways to the ceasefire table. So the credit goes completely to the 9 pilots who've been awarded with Veer Chakra medals for their, for actually being in the cockpit, firing those missiles, the BrahMos and other missiles, at those targets, Osama, in Pakistan. But the 4 air marshals that we've seen decorated with the SYSM, these are the people who are sitting in their war rooms, with the maps, with all the data. Actually, they were the architects of Operation Sindur, you can say. They actually designed these attacks and then sent out those pilots to conduct these attacks. So they deserve a national salute, and it is such a good feeling to see them decorated with the highest wartime decoration for distinguished service.
And Shiv, this is without hesitation that we can say that we are looking at a new benchmark for courage and leadership, not just in the entire military, but also in the Indian Air Force this time around. Shiv Arur there, thank you very much for joining us with those details. And another piece of breaking information that is coming right now, it is regarding the Cloudburst that struck the Chashoti village in the Padar subdivision of Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar. This incident, in fact, took place along the pilgrimage route. The death toll, it has now risen to 20. Rescue operations are currently underway with the Jammu and Kashmir police along with the SDRF as well as the army actively involved in the rescue efforts. Remember, this incident took place in the Padar area in the district along the route of the historic Himachal Mata Yatra. According to sources, a large langar had been set up for pilgrims at that site and it was completely washed away. We have been getting multiple reactions from the union ministers as well, but the breaking piece of information at this point of time is that the death toll. And Nazir Masoodi joins us on phone line. Get us more on this, Nazir. From what we understand at this moment, and this is quite unfortunate, the death toll has risen to 20.
Well, what we're hearing from the official sources that the death toll is already 20 and it may rise because many people are still missing. Around 80 people have been injured. They have been shifted to various hostels, including Kishtwar District Hospital and Atoli's, hostel, which is near this Cloudburst site. So it appears this tragedy is still unfolding because what we hear that more than around 250 to 300 people were present in and around the langar, this community kitchen, when the cloudburst hit the area. It has caused massive damage, and as I said, 20 people are dead, and that toll may rise. So it is a tragedy. Rescue teams have been rushed to the site, and rescue operations are underway. But these injured are being actually shifted to hostel. That remains the priority. How to save lives.
And this is a developing situation, and we'll keep a track on that as things develop and reports come in. Nazir Masoodi, thank you very much for getting us all those details. Meanwhile, the situation is grim in Himachal as well. A flash flood was witnessed after a cloudburst in Kinnaur this time. 4 civilians, they have been stranded. 1 person has been injured, and there was a late-night rescue operation underway by the army. The rain devastation has been across Himachal Pradesh, and several bridges, they were washed away, especially in the Shimla and Lahaul-Spiti districts, while over 300 roads, including the 2 national highways, they have been closed following fresh incidents of cloudburst and flash floods in the hill state. In Shimla district alone, a police post was swept away in the floods in Ganvi Ravine, while a bus stand and adjoining shops, they were damaged after torrential rain. 2 bridges were also destroyed, and that basically cut off the road connectivity between those areas.
We will talk to these residents to understand how they are trying to even struggle with this situation, because they have been facing a lot of problems. So हम देख रहे हैं पूरे हिमाचल प्रदेश में जून 20 के बाद लगातार बारिश हो रही है, और उस बारिश करके 300 के करीब रोड्स भी ब्लॉक है। लेकिन ये रेजिडेंशियल पॉश एरिया है, लेकिन यहाँ पे भी आप देख रहे हैं पानी बाहर फेंक रहे हैं लोग, यहाँ पे कई तरह की समस्या पेश देख रहे हैं।
सवाल सिर्फ इतना है कि 20-25 साल 30 साल पहले ये कॉलोनी बनी, और उसके बाद जब ये बनी तब ये 6-6, 7-7 फुट हाइट पर रोड लेवल से हम लोगों ने बनाया। उसके बाद मकान बनते चले गए, बड़ी बड़ी कोठियाँ बनती चली गई, लेकिन पानी को लेकर के, उसकी निकासी को लेकर के कोई व्यवस्था नहीं की गई। लोग घर बनाते चले गए, ना ही किसी कमेटी ने देखा, ना ही किसी पंचायत ने देखा, और ये वाटर लॉगिंग होती चली गई। थोड़ी सी बरसात पड़ती है।
इस बार ही आपको समस्या आई वाटर लॉगिंग की, कि जहाँ आपको रेगुलर समस्या आती है?
7-8 साल से यही स्थिति है, क्योंकि मैंने जैसे बताया कि ये पीछे एरिया सब खाली थे, घर बनते गए, नक्शे पास होते गए, उसके बाद पता नहीं किसी ने जांचा नहीं जांचा। कमेटी टैक्स भी ले रही है, पंचायत हर तरीके का टैक्स ले रही है, सारी सीवरेज टैक्स ले रही है और हाउस टैक्स ले रही है, लेकिन उसके बदले में हमें मिलता क्या है? ये चीज़ें आप देख रहे हैं। सुबह 4-5 बजे से हम लोग लगे।
पूरी फ्रेंड्स कॉलोनी में लोग ऐसे ही पानी बाहर निकाल रहे हैं, लगातार कोशिश कर रहे हैं सुबह की, क्योंकि
सुबह इतना पानी था सवेरे, और ये शॉर्ट सर्किट होने का डर रहता है हमेशा। बच्चे परेशान, सारा मतलब ज़िंदगी भर का जो हमने घर बनाया है तिनका जोड़ के, वो सब पूरा बर्बाद हो गया। बताइए, अगर ये प्रशासन इसको ध्यान ना दे, और आज से नहीं हो रहा, ये 25-30 साल हो गए हैं इस तरह से होते हुए। तो
25-30 साल से आप ऐसे पानी बाहर
हाँ जी, ऐसे ही कर रहे हैं, और हर बार हमें ये बोला जाता है कि इस बार हो जाएगा, लेकिन कभी भी नहीं होता। कहने के लिए पहुँचा ही है।
I'll request my visit to show one of the residents. He is showing the level of water. So this was the level of the water in morning when there was rain, but because rain had been stopped, and these residents, they have been struggling to just throw this water out of their houses. So once again, I'll request my visit to show all these pictures, how these residents of Una city, they have been struggling to get out of their houses. They are not able to move their vehicle, and all the roads have already been blocked because of waterlogging. And they are saying it's not the first time they have been facing problem, but they are trying to ask and convince the local administration so that they will be able to find out some solutions.
The Ministry of External Affairs has stated that the India-US relationship, it has navigated numerous challenges and expressed confidence that the ties between the two nations will continue to progress despite the recent tensions between the two countries, including the US imposing a 25% tariff on Indian goods. The Ministry of External Affairs, it has emphasized that both the countries, they remain committed to their substantive agenda and are also working towards a fair, a balanced and mutually beneficial bilateral trade agreement. Listen in to what the MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal had to say.
You know, the India-US defense partnership, underpinned by foundational defense agreements, is an important pillar of the bilateral partnership. This robust cooperation has strengthened across several domains. We are expecting a US defense policy team to be in Delhi in mid-August. The 21st edition of the joint military exercise Yuddha Abhyas is also expected to take place later this month in Alaska. Both sides remain engaged to convene the 2+2 intersessional meeting at the working level towards the end of this month.
Meanwhile, India has strongly condemned Pakistan's nuclear threats, calling them reckless and hateful. The Ministry of External Affairs criticized Pakistan's Army Chief Asim Munir for making those inflammatory remarks during his US visit, suggesting that Pakistan would retaliate against India with nuclear force if necessary. India has made it clear that it will not yield to nuclear blackmail and will take all the necessary steps in order to safeguard its national security.
We have seen reports regarding a continuing pattern of reckless, warmongering and hateful comments from Pakistani leadership against India. It is well known that known modus operandi of the Pakistani leadership to whip up anti-India rhetoric time and again to hide their own failures. Pakistan would be well advised to temper its rhetoric, as any misadventure will have painful consequences, as was demonstrated recently.
Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
And you know, that's why it's being said that after Kahuna Pyare, this is the film that has got two superstar debutants who are becoming superstars. But what was this faith that you had on these two that you know that shows on screen?
You know, you don't plan to make a blockbuster. You plan to make a good film. And that's what I think they never let me, you know, they didn't put that pressure on me to live up to. They never gave me a number that we have to hit or a so-called figure that I have to open to. There was all these trappings were just not there, which normally producers do end up putting that pressure. Then you make wrong things. Then you add a song for a shadi song, add a Punjabi song. All these trappings were not there in this film. They were like, just go there and make your film. Do this script. We love this script and make it honestly. And I think the minute that happened, a filmmaker I could just spread my wings and just go out, not worrying about a few. I think when you do that, you get a little more fearless, and then that's what got picked up by people. So I cast appropriate for the film. I didn't cast thinking. I cast what felt right.
You were saying that you are going to say no to him.
Yeah. But that's his fault. Huh? He was now you see, now that we can talk about the film, Krish Kapoor cannot be a timid, sweet boy.
Yes,
sir, how are you,
remember
sir?
last time we spoke.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this guy? He was a sweet boy and all that. Then by the end of the night, I could see the boisterous self, and I could see the Krish Kapoor who could stand on top and say, don't forget this name, it's Krish Kapoor. So I think I was looking for that a bit. I needed a spark of that.
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I
or
hold
CDSL
for the long term? Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years.
Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power.
What is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
एक जरा इंतजार सुन सदाएं दे रही है मंजिल प्यार की।
जय जवान जय हिंद।
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा ट्रेडिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा।
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
ये आपको बिल्कुल उसका ऐसा हल्का सा भी खौफ नहीं है।
मैडम एक बार को खौफ किस लिए रखना चाहिए तो बताओ, कौन सा गलत काम कर रहा हूँ मैं?
After our report, we also saw NSE came out with a cautionary circular to the investors. Market Regulator Securities and Exchange Board of India has also come out with a release talking about the actions that it has taken. Cyber complaint has also been filed against the entities involved in this entire Dabba trading scam.
You know, first
A massive cloudburst in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar. 32 people have died in that cloudburst. Prime Minister takes stock of the situation. The Union Home Minister speaks to Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister and the LG. One person died and two injured in a tragedy in Delhi after a tree fell on a scooter. Political blame game has now begun over the rain mess. Actor Darshan has been arrested after his bail got cancelled. The Supreme Court said no one is above the law. The Supreme Court passes the interim order on special intensive revision. Supreme Court says accept Aadhaar as the ID proof and must display the reason of non-inclusion. Supreme Court tells the Election Commission of India publish the details of the deleted voters by Tuesday.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Well, breaking news coming in at this point of time, and this is regarding the cloudburst in Kishtwar. The incident, remember, took place along the pilgrimage route, and the death toll has now risen to 32. Meanwhile, rescue operations are currently underway with the Jammu and Kashmir Police, the SDRF and the Army actively involved in the efforts. This incident, remember, took place on the route, along the route of the historic Himachal Martyr River Yatra. According to sources, a large langar was set up for the pilgrims at the site and it was completely washed away. The Union Minister, Jitendra Singh, he has also spoken to the Kishtwar Deputy Commissioner. In fact, the Prime Minister has also taken stock of the entire situation. But the big breaking information that is coming as far as this tragedy is concerned, the death toll has now risen to 32. My colleague Nazir Masoodi joins us to get us more on this. Nazir, the death toll has risen to 32 now. Are there any concerns that it might increase further?
Yeah, exactly. That is the worry that the death toll may go up. 80 people are also injured. Many are missing. As we know, there are 250 to 300 people were in and around the mess when this community langar kitchen, when the cloudburst struck there. So since then, not much is known, except now the officials have confirmed death of 32 people. First they said 10, then said 12, then I got confirmation of 20. Now the police have confirmed that the 30, two people have died, but the death toll may go up. I checked with some of the local political representatives and the local officials here. They said that the exact number cannot be known unless the whole area is searched and every person was there is accounted for. So it may take time. It is a horrible tragedy which has hit this yatra. It's a Machel yatra, well-known yatra in Pir Panjal, this Chenab Valley region of Jammu and Kashmir. So people were there. There was rains have been going on, but the fact is not many people had this idea, and no one has idea that there would be this type of cloudburst in this area, which has really wreaked out.
All right, Nazir Masoodi there, getting us all the latest as far as this situation, this developing situation is concerned. 32 people have now been reported dead in that cloudburst incident. Meanwhile, this Independence Day week, superstar Rajinikanth, he's back 50 years after his first film released today. His 171st Coolie hits the theatres, and the superstar fever is already off the charts. The release of Coolie, it coincides with Rajinikanth's golden jubilee in cinema as a career, which in fact began in 1975, and it continues to rule the hearts of viewers even in 2025. From a rugged villain to an actor whose expressive eyes cast a spell on the audience, Rajinikanth, he has risen to become India's one of the biggest superstars with fans spanning states. Meanwhile, my colleague Sam Daniel, he in fact spoke to to the cast of this movie, Coolie. In fact, spoke with the director, Lokesh Kanagraj, the musician, Anirudh, and the leading lady, Shruti Hassan. Take a look.
Rajini's film, so it's always special, no?
You are a Kamal fan. How special was directing Rajinikanth?
Yeah, I can say that in another interview. There is a lot of rush here.
Has the film come out well the way you liked?
Yes. The response is so good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, how special was this film for you? Thank you. What's the larger theme you chose for Coolie?
Sir, it's a very special day, sir. Or all over the world, it's a record. Very proud to be part of the 50th year of Rajini's.
Any particular theme you chose for this?
Sir, just mass, sir. That's Talaivar, just Talaivar.
What next?
Jailer 2, sir.
Lastly, young talents are doing extremely well in Tamil cinema now, be it you or Lokesh. What's the larger message?
Sir, just a proud moment, sir. Very proud moment. The 50th year of Talaivar, for us to deliver this, I'm very happy, sir.
Thank you so much, Anil, for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Always. That was Mr. Anirudh talking to us in Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel for NDTV. It's a big day for fans of superstar Rajinikanth. In a sense, Coolie Day, as his film Coolie is set to release across Tamil Nadu and around the world. It's also special because it's the golden jubilee year for the superstar. And with me, Ravindran, thank you very much for your time. What makes first day, first show of Rajinikanth special?
It's always been special. It's superstar's film. It's always been special. I'm coming from childhood. I used to come with my father. Now I'm coming alone. So it's like he's an evergreen star. His aura is
a power-packed lineup of stars from Rajinikanth, Amir Khan, Satyaraj, Shruti Hassan.
That power-packed stars. We only come for a superstar. That's it.
Did you like the music?
Yeah, Anirudh has always given his best, absolute best to superstar. It's the fifth film for him. So we thought Hukum cannot be replaced, and he came up with Powerhouse. So it's for the Powerhouse. You know it, right?
What's that clicks with people of all generations when it comes to Rajinikanth?
So growing up watching his movies was something which I'm attached to. My dad was a Rajinikanth fan, and I grew up watching his movies, carrying his style and all sorts of his attitude. So I feel always good to be here.
Lokesh Kanagraj's first film with Rajinikanth, will it be Rajinikanth film or Lokesh's film?
It's low-key universe. It's always low-key. And it will be a proper Rajinikanth film too, fans as usual it. And we are looking for as 1,000 crore box office as a pan-India film.
I think the biggest challenge for Loki would be to outdo Karthik Subraj as a fanboy. So I think what Karthik Subraj has done in Peta is really outstanding, and we are expecting massive work here. We actually traveled out of state, we are from Karnataka, Bangalore. We've come here to watch it with the fans and celebrate it with the fans.
Bangalore. They have come all the way from Bangalore just to witness the celebrations in Rohini theatres.
Where are you from? Bangalore, and you're a Rajinikanth fan. Have you seen the film or are you going to see the film?
We are going to see the film.
Fans of all ages, obviously, each one with a different thing. You all have Coolie.
Yes, sir. Yes.
What? Why?
Namla Coolie da. Namla Coolie da.
You can take out Kannadi and do Rajinikanth style?
Yeah.
Very nice. It is being Rajinified. Rajinified na enna? Being terrified is being Rajinified. Powerhouse. We are at the Urvashi Theatre here in Bangalore, where there is a 50-year-old cake being cut for Rajinikanth. Crackers being burst there. Full-on Rajinikanth mania being played out here. All of this. Full crowd here early morning. Chandrakant is the Rajinikanth Fans Club President of Karnataka. Why are you a Rajinikanth fan?
I've seen the first film. After first film, I become a fan.
Okay. What does Rajini 50 years mean for you?
After 50 years, what happened is great celebration of our festival. We make a festival throughout Karnataka.
You have Rajini dialogue?
நான் ஒரு தடவை சொன்னா 100 தடவை சொன்ன மாதிரி because நான்
say it like superstar.
one star superstar ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಇದ್ರು ಆಂಧ್ರಗೆ NT ರಾಮಾರಾವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿಗೆ MGR ಇದ್ರು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ 20-30 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ 50 ವರ್ಷವರೆಗೂ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್.
How much money will Coolie make?
1,000.
Movie is good? What are you cutting this cake for? Arey dekho, celebrating 50 years of Rajinikanth. Coolie. Celebrations here. You're also related to Rajinikanth.
Definitely.
Huh? You're related to him. What relation? What relation?
What relation? Brother, son-in-law.
So the Rajini craze here playing out at Urvashi Theatre. Obviously, all shows are booked. You just need to go online to try and get a ticket for Coolie. You won't get it. That's the craze for Rajinikanth. Obviously, a sellout weekend. Reviews coming in that it's a total masala film. So, all people out here at the Urvashi Theatre there. So, the Rajini craze, not just in Chennai, across several southern cities, including in Bengaluru, where they are celebrating the release of Coolie.
Looking at the crowd, it may look like it's the middle of the day here in Mumbai, but it's not. It's early in the morning, and all these people are here for Thalaiva. Yes, it's Thalaiva Day, and so they are all here for Rajinikanth early in the morning. Since 4 o'clock they've been standing here for the tickets. First day, first show, 6 a.m. They are waiting for here to talk to us. Guys, कितने excited हैं आप लोग Coolie देखने के लिए? Very excited, very excited.
Excited.
क्या ये पहली बार ऐसा हो रहा है? आप लोग आए हो कि हमेशा आते हो?
always do yeah जो रजनीकांत सर का है
So you can see the madness here, and it's 50 years.
yeah these are 50 years of Rajinikanth we are celebrating here yeah 100% we are this is special for us.
So it's extra special for them this time. They do this every year, doesn't matter. The rain, sun, doesn't matter. They're always here. But this year it's extra special because it's 50 years of Rajinikanth and the number of fans are increasing every day. So here we are. The madness is here. It's Thalaiva Day.
I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen a fan celebration like this ever before?
Never.
So this is the best and this is the bestest moment of my life because I am also not a South Indian, but I'm first time coming here and this is just for the love of Rajni. This is the day. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And you guys, you all have been coming here regularly?
Yeah. Every year for Rajni film.
It doesn't look like it's 6 in the morning, right?
No.
The whole mall is crowded and it's full of people and everybody is celebrating like it's a festival. It is a festival
right now.
Absolutely.
This is the temple of cinema.
This is the temple of cinema, like they said.
Well, there is nothing like Rajni mania, and there is nothing like watching a Rajni film on the very first day. Meanwhile, shifting our focus to our other story, Air Force Chief Amarpreet Singh, he visited the home of Surendra Moga in Jhunjhunu. Surendra, he was martyred during Operation Sindur. In fact, the chief met Surendra's family and said that the Indian Air Force has always been supporting the families of the martyrs. Surendra, he was a medical assistant in the Air Force, and on the night of 9th of May 2025, Pakistan attacked the Udhampur base camp, and in this attack, Surendra Moga from Mehradasi village of in Jhunjhunu, he was martyred. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh, he visited the Pune-based Artificial Limb Center as well on Wednesday and met with Corporal Varun Kumar, air warrior who suffered injuries during Operation Sindur.
फौजी का विलेज है बाहर देखो कितने लोग मिले हैं
That's all we have for you in this edition of Prime 5. On the other side, Ankit Tyagi joins us with Nationwide at 6.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
This Independence Day week, Rajinikanth is back 50 years after his first film release today, his 171st. Coolie hits the theatres and the superstar fever is already off the charts. The release of Coolie coincides with Rajinikanth's golden jubilee in cinema, a career which began in 1975 and continues to rule the hearts of viewers even in 2025.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash. Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
जय जवान जो मैंने शुरू किया था ये एक्चुअली मैं दोबारा आया हूँ आप लोग से मिलने के लिए मुझे बड़ी खुशी है आप देख रहे हैं YouTube पे मेरी फिल्म वाह क्या बात है क्या बात है देखिए जय जवान मेरे साथ 15 अगस्त को सिर्फ NDTV पर जय जवान जय जवान जय हिंद जय हिंद
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth for CXO and business leaders by NDTV, Terry and Zenora. Master global ESG frameworks, gain real-world tools and lead with impact. Starts August the 23rd. Enroll now and power your business with sustainability.
Mohit, you are known for your music. All your films, musics stay with us till today. I'm a millennial and those music are kind of music. So whenever we say Mohit Suri film aa raha hai, we know the music will be good, right? It's a given. So you really work hard. But is this always like how you create your music? You need everything in place, the mood, the lighting, even when the person is in the studio and just singing. And also, how did you select your musicians that this person's voice is perfect for this song?
That's what I think, the amount you give to a song, that's how long it will last, I think. Everyone does the programming, everyone writes the words, everyone makes the thing. But the thing is how much you give, how much of heart you give to the lyrics or to the music or to the melody or to the singing. That's how long the song will last, is what I genuinely feel. If you don't give that love, you're not going to get it back. It's just a simple debit and credit procedure, I think, with the audience. I genuinely feel I don't have any special skill. I don't know any scale or anything else. It's just that I enjoy that process a lot. Give me an evening to just go For a film party or something, I'll skip it. But you give me like a struggling musician to go who has a great tune, some new guys, chill all night with them. I can do that. I can just sit there, make music and stuff like that. We just did that recently. Fahim came down. He just surprised us, and we met in my Bandra office, and Han was there, Aneet was there, and he made me hear his other songs and stuff like that. But it was it's so much fun, because I just think making music, I mean, film, you still get to see something. I think music is so amazing. I mean, you
don't need to see anything.
It's in the air, and suddenly it just comes together, and it's just, you can just feel it. And something you hear makes you feel something. It's just magical.
NDTV 24/7 is India's #1 English news channel on YouTube. Credible, compelling, always ahead of the curve. Thank you for choosing NDTV 24/7 as your trusted source for news.
Good evening and welcome to NDTV. It's nationwide at 6 on the broadcast at this moment. I am Ankit Tyagi. Very important stories that we are going to talk about this evening, viewers, and we'll start with, high and mighty think they can bend the law. The law is different for them and it's different for the citizens of the country. But today the Supreme Court showed the mirror to one such high-profile criminal. In fact, one such high-profile accused who thought even within jail, he will get his VIP status intact. Actor Darshan, his bail has been cancelled, and the Supreme Court has, in fact, now put a precedent. They have now shown a precedent as far as these cases are concerned. I'll get you the details on this. Then we will also talk about the details of the massive mayhem. Does the national capital deserve this? As citizens of this country who are paying tax, do we deserve the capital to be waterlogged in few hours of rain? A death has happened, an absolutely useless way to die. A man who was with his daughter died on the streets of Delhi. We'll get you the details on that as well. And then, of course, we'll also talk about the SIR case in the Supreme Court today. But let's start with actor Darshan. He's accused of nothing less than a murder. Murder of a man and was in fact arrested after a lot of hue and cry and put in bail. Then came the visuals of actor Darshan chilling in jail as if he was sitting in his own drawing room, having a cup of coffee, smiling, looking at people, enjoying as if this is a resort where he has come to spend some time with himself. Relax. There were video calls with his fans which were going viral. And even after all that, he was given bail. The Supreme Court today cancelled the bail for actor Darshan. The Supreme Court slammed the VVIP treatment which was being given to this actor. The Supreme Court said that the High Court bail order has its purse. It does not, in fact, a majesty of the law. And the Supreme Court then also said that it reiterated that no one is above the law. It's a huge rebuke in such cases as far as the privilege is concerned. Just take a look at this. The court said, why did the court cancel this bail for the actor? Serious, heinous nature of the offense. He's accused of orchestrating a murder. And even then he gets such lenient, and kid glove kind of a treatment. Evidence indicates premeditated crime. The Supreme Court of evidence. What need to keep him behind bars? The accused used police influence, the probe. Status as a student will get him some brownie points. Police will work out his whims and fancies. The court said no one exempt from the legal accountability and sent a very strong message this evening. No exemption by virtue of the status of the accused. If you are an actor, and you think that everybody is beneath you. No, sir, the law is the same for you. All people are equally subjected to the law. That's the underline, in fact, of this very important order of the Supreme Court, which will be used as a precedent in many other cases as well. And if you're wondering why the court was so harsh on this actor, let me just tell you the case that he is accused in. Renuka Swamy from Chitradurga was tortured and murdered on June 8, 2024. And in this very case, Renuka Swamy's body was found with injuries on June 9th in 2024. 4 people surrendered claiming responsibility on June 10th. On June 11th, actor Darshan, another actor Pavitra Gowda, they were arrested in Mysuru. And let me also tell you then, in August 2024, there were leaked photographs showing actor Darshan enjoying in prison, chilling. I showed you those visuals. I'll play them again in a while for you. Despite the arrest, making video calls from within the confines of the prison, the Bengaluru police filed a 3,991-page charge sheet as far as this case is concerned. Later, Darshan got 6 weeks in October 2024. He got a 6-week interim bail on medical grounds. Then, the High Court also granted bail to Darshan and Pavitra Gowda on December 3rd, 2024. This was challenged. The Supreme Court issued notices to Darshan and others on January 2025. And then, in May 2025, Darshan requests the court to approval to go abroad for work. Somebody's life has been taken, but my life should go on as it was because I am a celebrity. The Supreme Court then, on 17th July 2025 and later on July 24, 2025, Supreme Court said that the High Court's decision prima facie is perverse. It should not have given them the bail. Darshan, Pavitra filed submissions for continuing bail on August 2025. And then on 14th August 2025, the Supreme Court cancelled bail for actor Darshan, saying that no one is above law. I just once again want to play out those visuals again of this man smiling, sitting inside the prison. This is inside the prison with his lackeys sitting around him, chilling with a cup of coffee. Remember, he's the man behind, the brain behind, accused behind the murder of an innocent man. And after that, he has the gumption to tell the court, I want to go abroad for shooting, for work. Let's first listen in to the family of the victim, which has welcomed the Supreme Court's decision.
Darshan avara bail application Supreme Court nalli avardu raddagide avarna arrest madಬೇಕಂತ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ನಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಲ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆತಂಕ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ತನಿಖೆ ಅಂತಂದು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಂತೆ ನ್ಯಾಯವಾದಿಗಳ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ನ್ಯಾಯಮೂರ್ತಿಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಬೇಲ್ ರದ್ದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡೆಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪರಾಧಿ ತಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ
All right, let me very quickly go across to my colleagues, those who are joining me at this moment. Deepak is joining us from Bengaluru. Nupur was tracking this case here in the national capital. Nupur, coming to you very quickly first. This case and the court's order is very important. It is going to be used as a precedence in many cases to come. The court once again underlining, no matter what your status is, you are a dwarf in front of the law of the land.
Well, yes, Ankit, this is in fact a very, in fact, a landmark judgment in that sense that the Supreme Court now has not only cancelled the bail, but has also used its extraordinary powers in directing that, first of all the 7 people who have been granted bail should surrender immediately, and it has went on to say that if it finds out that any 5-star treatment is being meted out to any of them, if any such picture surfaces again in front of the Supreme Court, it will not let this go easily. It will take a serious note of the same and will in fact direct suspension for police officers responsible for this kind of 5-star treatment to people of power and big stature in the society. The Supreme Court said that law, in eyes of law, everyone is equal. Law is equal for all, and no one can expect to be treated in such a way, and they will have to ultimately abide by the law. And if actor Darshan is surrendering today, the Supreme Court said that he's not doing us a favor. This is the right. This is the right in the country. This is a democracy, and he will have to, in fact, not only surrender but also go through the trial, through the trial process. The Supreme Court also, on the other hand, took a very dim view in the way High Court, Karnataka High Court has dealt with this case, the way it has granted bail, it has heard witnesses, cross-examined witnesses,
Yes.
which should have been done by the trial court. So this is, in fact, a very big development and a big judgment in itself.
As I said, it is going to be, and Nupur also underlined it, a landmark judgment that will be a precedent in many cases to come, in future. Deepak, as far as the actor is concerned, has he surrendered? And number two, because we saw some visuals just a short while back of a vehicle in which he's apparently sitting, going, for the said surrender. But Deepak, the question also, a big question also remains on the prison authorities and the policemen, possibly those who colluded with this actor to give him a VVIP treatment. What is the government saying about that?
Well, the biggest news of the day is law has caught up. However high and mighty Darshan thought he was, while people thought, well, the powerful always get away, this particular order of the Supreme Court has come as a welcome relief to everybody. It has reassured not just the family of Renuka Swamy, because the father there clearly says, my faith in the judiciary has been reinforced with this judgment, and that's exactly what it has done to thousands of people who continue to fight against the high and mighty. There are several cases that the common man are dealing with, and they believe today that, well, the courts are there to protect their interests, and if there is injustice that's being done, the court will rectify that. Procedures right now going on. He was formally arrested from the Hoskerehalli, house. That's where his wife and his son were. He visited that particular place, and the police, of course, taking him from there, then to the police station, medical checkups. The formality continues, and producing before the court, and eventually, of course, back in jail. And that is something that many of them wondered, will it ever happen again? Because usually when you have the powerful who are sent to prison and then get out on bail, then that's the end of the story. That means that they're never probably going to go back. But now it has been set right, and the court has, like you said, made some stinging observations about how VIP treatment was given to him. He just didn't have a cup of coffee in his hand. He had a cigarette as well inside the prison, and seated there casually along with his aides as if he had done nothing wrong. But right now, all of that comes to an end. The court will, of course, take a decision which, prison he goes back to. The administration as well can take a call if they want to shift him for whatever reasons they deem fit. But the news of the day, Darshan going back to prison.
And whether he's guilty or not, that is for the courts to decide. But for that judgment, Darshan will have to go through the process as any other person in this country. Your VIP status is behind those walls of the prison. Your VIP status, in fact, ceases to exist once you decide to take law in your own hands, and then you will be treated with the full force of the law. As Deepak was saying, it's heartening to see once again the court reinforcing that the law is the same for every person. Deepak, Nupur, thank you so much for joining me. But Deepak, I request you to stay on with me. We would like to, in fact, at this moment, play out a reaction. Our colleague Veer Raghav caught up with actor Ramya on this entire incident.
Now is Ramya, actor who has taken on, Darshan's fans and had filed a complaint. Ma'am, what's your first reaction to the fact that the Supreme Court has cancelled the bail order and said no VIP treatment to anyone in the courts in India?
It's a relief, and it reaffirms your faith in the justice system. No matter how long and hard the process is, that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
strong order from the Supreme Court finally in terms of the case that you've taken up as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I kind of skimmed through the judgment. He came down heavily on the High Court, and also, they made observations about how he was just chilling in jail, and how that leeway was given to him. And I'm glad that, they've gone through it in